Hello, everybody. It's Cheri. I'm in the craft camper. Of course, I had to try using some of these flashy things in this StreamYard software. So say hi as you're popping on. Hello to Caitlin. Oh, let's see. Is it going to work? There we go. Hi, Caitlin. How are you? We have Nikita86. Hello, Nikita. We have Judy. Hey, Judy. How are you? Can you guys hear me okay? Is my audio good? The PJ Mommy is in the house. All right, I'm going to try something. Hello. Thank you for coming. I know you had things. Okay, I think we'll have to see how this works, the PJ Mommy. Thank you for being here, too. I know you had stuff going on. I appreciate you. All right. And she is going to be moderating over there on the YouTube. I may have to figure out a way if you're interested in getting you in, like, in here if you want. Hello to Anna. And we have... Nikita says, hey to the PJ Mommy. This is so much fun. I will not. Let's see. I am good, Caitlin. How are you doing? I'm not even going to say your name, but you're watching from the Czech Republic. Hello to you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being here. Hello, Teresa. How are you? I am doing well, guys. I am doing well. I actually, here, guys, I have to show you. My package finally came today. You can only see like the upper part, right? But look, I think this is mirrored. Can you guys read it? Can you read it? It's some of the sweatshirts now that I have, and I just like spit across the room. Isn't that the cutest? Can you read it? Can you read it, Crank Knitter? I'll read it to you. It says, just like a normal knitter, but cooler, willing to spend countless hours turning a crank to make something extra awesome, guys. So yay, it worked. Okay, I love this. By the way, I have to tell you, I love this sweatshirt. This is a large. You can get it on my shop over there on the YouTube if you want. Okay, now let's go back to my face here. So how was everybody's weekend? Did you guys all have a good weekend? I had a pretty decent weekend. It was pretty decent. Hello, Lisa in Shropshire, UK. How are you doing? Thank you. I love it too. It's so soft. I know, when you get a hoodie before you like wash it and the fuzz is like super, super soft. I know once I wash it, it won't be probably as soft, but right now it's like having a blanket on. It's really, really nice. I love it. All right. Diane, good evening in the UK. Anna wants to know what the weather is like today. It's just dark and kind of gross. Like, can you see? I don't know if you can see. It's not real sunny. We haven't had a lot of sun lately, guys. It's a little chilly, but it's not too bad. It is like 36, which has been warmer than it has been. But yeah, she says it's pouring down rain there in the UK, and that's always a good day to like make stuff, right? Okay, so you're going to all have to bear with me on how this is. I think it's going to be good. I played around with it yesterday. Nikita says they have snow. I know it looks like snow here or something. Almost looks like thunderstorms. It's obviously not cold enough for it to snow, but. Hello, Monica in Germany. How are you doing? Thank you for watching. I love this, guys, because I can actually read all the comments. I don't have to have my computer. Hey, Carla in Texas. Oh, you found my page just today. Oh, thank you so much for the kind words. I appreciate that. Carla. I woke up this morning. I got to stop doing this, guys. And I get on my phone. Does anybody else do that? Tell me, are you guilty of that? Like, I get on my phone and I start scrolling on the social media before I get my butt even out of bed. Hello, Debbie in Scotland. How are you? Hello to you. I love that I can like post your little things here. Hi, Terry. But I get on there and I want to answer people's questions. And I'm doing well. Thank you for asking. So PJ Mommy says yes. Okay. So I want to answer people's questions because people have legitimate questions with crank knitting, if they're a crank knitter. And I want to help. And then I get, it goes into the rabbit hole of doom. And I need to stop. Because Instagram, guys, if you don't follow me on Instagram, you don't have to because it's the same stuff that I post everywhere else. But if you'd like to, you can. So it's kind of blown up. Some of the reels have blown up over there. So like it blows my mind. Lots and lots more followers. But with that comes lots and lots more haters too. So again, I got up this morning and I'm reading the hate and I need to stop doing that. I need to just like focus on the good, right? Everybody focus on the good. Thank you, Lisa. She says, cool sweatshirt. Thank you. I love it. It's really nice. I love it. You can have one too if you'd like. Lisa says, hello. I'm doing well, Lisa. I'm doing well. I'm just complaining a little bit because I do the bad thing. If my kids like got up every morning, and I know some of them do, and get on social media, I would probably tell them to stop. I do that every morning. I need to stop doing that. I need to like set a time, like, mentally get my day started without it. But Nella, wow. Wow. I'm glad you're here. I'm glad you're here. Well, that's the PJ mommy says she gives herself about 10 minutes. That's probably that's what I should do. But I get up really early and it's like not light out yet. And I lay there. Yeah, I know. I shouldn't do it. I shouldn't do it. Okay. So we're going to try this out with the upper camera here. Let me try this. I don't have my machine. Let's see. It's going to take me just a hot second, guys, to get this like all figured out. All right. What happened here? Add that. There we go. Okay. So I think we can see it over here. Hello, Connie. I am doing good. I hope you're doing well. I'm glad you're here. Okay, it kind of blips in and out. And if I put my hands in here, it'll like try to focus on my hands. So I know that that's a little bit of an issue. So we'll see what happens once I start cranking, because once I start cranking, it may very well go crazy and like be silly, because yesterday when I did it, I wasn't cranking at all. So Terry asked, how do I add new colors? Well, actually, Terry, I'm going to crank out just a single. I'm going to use this Kieran Simply Soft. See how it does that? That's going to bug me, the focusing in and out. Sorry if that bothers you guys, but I think this will give you all a better view. I'm thinking I have this clearance yarn. It was clearance for $4.47, but when Kieran Simply Soft is on sale, you can get it cheaper than that. But anyways, I'm going to make just a single like 130 row beanie with that, and put these palms on it. I think I'm going to do a double palm because I've had several people ask me if I can get my machine cranked down here or clamped down. I've had several people ask me about doing the palms, which is not difficult if you have like an easy way to get them on like I do with the buttons. But anyways, we're going to do that. And then I have a whole bunch of yarn over here off to the side that I want to do a scrap hat. So that's going to be lots of color changes. So I don't know if you have anything planned for here in just a little bit, but if you want to hang around, I'll be doing lots of color changes because I'll show you here. I'll show you the yarn I'm going to use. I have a lot of yarn left over from the hats that I did that I donated this weekend. So I have a bunch of Kieran Simply Soft left over, and we're going to do a scrap hat out of that, and we'll see what it looks like. I don't know how it'll turn out, but we'll see. And I was going to weigh it all, but my scale broke, guys. I don't know why, but it broke. My husband was trying to fix it. Anna says, yay, double pump. That you are welcome, Anna. Anna had asked me, I think earlier today, and I had a couple other people message me about making or just doing the double palm, like my hat that I wear all the time. And it's not, yeah, we'll do that here in just a second. Okay. All right. I do like this. This is working pretty well. Okay. So let's get going here. Let me get, I had somebody, I didn't bring it out here. I had somebody ask me about, cleaning the machines, and I've never done that. Can you hear my machine though? It's starting to get sticky. And my husband and I have been discussing it, and I have my old broken Centro. So we are going to take it apart. We bought some silicone lubricant that's made for plastic. We're going to try it, guys. We're going to try it. I'll let you know how it goes. I'll give you some feedback as to, I know a lot of times I would always say before not to take it apart, but after replacing the pin on my Addy 22, one of the needles that broke, I think it might not be that difficult. I haven't had one of these apart yet. So since I have an extra one, we're going to try it. We're going to see what happens. And then I was hoping to do it this weekend, but we didn't get a chance to. So maybe this week we'll do it, and then we'll let you know. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and cast on. I want to say hey to Marilyn. Hi, Marilyn, and Deborah. Hello, Deborah. All right. And then we'll get cranking here, and we'll see if this camera is going to go wackadoodle. Wackadoodle. I did also have somebody just ask me or message me. See how sticky it is? Can you guys see it? About how I make my hats lay, like the brim lay flat. And it's someone who's just getting started. And I want to talk about it before I start cranking, because she's making single layer and she doesn't understand the double layer. So if you're just starting, I do a big long tube and then I do like 2 layers. So there's layer 1 here, layer 2 here, and then you have a brim and you end up with a nice brim that way. If you do a single layer hat, you're going to have a rolled brim, because that's just what happens with the ends of these as they roll. Let's see. How can I get one of those machines? Deborah Jones asked. I do have, if you hop onto hoopandhome.com, I have a supplies tab and there is a link in there. It's an Amazon affiliate shop for the Loombot itself. But these are also, aside from Amazon, they're available on Fat Brain Toys as well. But it's a little bit different than the Centro 48, but I think it's really just the same. And let's see, is it Leisha Davis Willis? Hello in Arkansas. And Miss Lady Lopez, I've never been successful in changing colors, but I just started. I will help. So stick around. And if you can't stick around, you can always watch the replay, either on YouTube or on Facebook, because we are live on both and they will both get posted after we are all done. So I'm going to just, even though I have center pole, guys, even though I have center pole, it still drags a little bit. It like pulls. So I'm pulling out a little bit of it at a time before I start cranking, just so I can have a little better tension. Let me see. I got to wrap my legs around my table here, guys. We'll see what it does. I'm kind of concerned that the camera might go crazy, but we'll find out. Oh, let's see. Oh, you're so welcome, Miss Lady Lopez. Is it Bjor asked about the price of the machine? How match this machine? How much is it? It's like $59, I think, is what the price is. I think it's $59. I think that's what it is right now. Plus shipping, probably. Well, I think Amazon's free shipping. If you get it on Fat Brain Toys, I think you have to pay for shipping. So you can always, if you're in the States, you can check out my Amazon affiliate shop that's over on the hoopandhome.com, or just hoopandhome.com. Oh, about the hats. I don't sell the hats. Let's see, somebody was asking about the hats. I missed Hamas. I don't sell the hats. These hats that I make are just for donation. I know I've had lots of people ask about purchasing them. Hello, Kiki88. How are you doing? Thank you for being here. So Roman says that's about $75. Is it? I don't know what New Zealand is. I don't know. I don't know my currency. I should know that. This is so great to have others doing and loving circular. I know, Connie. Isn't it awesome? Well, it looks like the camera's doing pretty well, guys. I don't know if I can. Let me go this way. Is that better? Is that a better view for you guys? I don't know if it's better. Or do you want to see my face still? I don't know. What do you guys think? Face, no face. I don't know what you want to see. Oh, thank you. Thank you for the compliment. That's very nice of you. You might need some glasses, though. With some extra strong lenses. But thank you. That's very sweet. Hello, Beth Ann Cloud Brooks. How are you doing? Face. Okay, Kathy, I'll leave face up then. I see, for me, if I'm watching somebody, I kind of want to see what they're doing too. Like, you know, yeah. Kiki says face. Carla Jacobson. Grandson would love his Nana to make him a Pokemon hat. Yours was so cute. Oh, that's sweet. Yeah, actually, I still haven't packed it away, but after I did it, I realized it looked like it's the opposite of like I still have it over here. I grabbed it. Like a Pokemon ball. If you did the red, the black, and then the white. But when I made this, it looks like I've one of my hairs weaved into it. That's really nice, Cheri. Somebody's going to get an extra special gift. When I make hats, though, I generally try not to do light colors, too much light colors for the underneath, because if you're a lady and you wear makeup, or if you wear makeup, I guess you don't have to be a lady to wear makeup. Anybody can wear makeup, but it'll get all yucky. You know how your brim gets yucky? You guys know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking about. You get like the base on there, or from your face, the base from your face. So I always try to make hats that are kind of a darker color. So once they get a little grungy, they don't look too bad. Let's see. Kim says, hold on, I'm going to put this up here. Kim has a question. I'm trying to figure out sizing for kindergartnens. I did 120 rows on the 48 pin, but Karen's Simply Soft. It seems too big, but I don't have a kindergartner to try it on. I think a 120 you're going to do just, I think with a big chunky brim, that's probably all right. I think, it's been so long since I've had a littler kid. I don't have anybody to like test it out on either. That's my thing. When I'm making kids hats for donations, I have a little paper here. I don't know if I still have it. I do 115, and I do 125. I think 120 is good. And it depends, Kim, on what yarn you're using. If you're using like a less expensive yarn, like a big twist or something like that, that should be totally fine. If you're using something that's a little bit stretchier, like the Karen Simply Soft, it might be a little bit big on them, but I think you just, make it have a chunkier brim, and I think it'd be good. Deborah says, if you're doing something specific, okay, please just show wheel. Yeah, right now I'm just cranking, guys. Now I'm just going to crank this out. We get to see this pretty pattern. I made one of these before quite a while ago. There's a reel for it, or like on YouTube, there's a short, if you want to call it short on someplace, reel on the other. And somebody called it looks like bacon. And then I can't like get that out of my mind now. It kind of like, I don't want to say it ruined it for me, but it does. Doesn't it look like bacon? So I call it the bacon yarn. Let's see. You want to see me in the hat? Which hat is that? It fits me good. Kiki88 says, put on a hat. I'll put on a hat here in a second. Show the shot with your face is good for those hard of hearing or deaf. Oh, for lips. Yes, that's probably good. Okay, we'll keep it up there. I do think I noticed that on Facebook, it's doing captions where it didn't do that before. I thought I had those turned on before. And so, yeah, we'll definitely leave it up. How do you cast off? I'm having trouble. Well, Sherilyn, we will, I'll be casting this off once I get all the cranks out. So you can follow along with that. But yes, I have some tips for those if you're having trouble, like what you can do. That's fine, Kiki88. Thank you for stopping in. You're amazing too. Thank you. Oh, Kim, yeah, Fort Wayne. Woohoo! The fort. That's where I grew up, guys. In Fort Wayne, Indiana. Kim, are you the one? Somebody has somebody's a teacher at Brentwood Elementary, I think. I don't know if that was you or who. I went to Shambaugh Elementary School, but I had a friend that went to Brentwood. But I don't know if that was you. It might have been somebody else. It's such a small world, guys. I can't even believe it. Yeah, now you can't unsee it, right? The PJ Mommy, it looks like bacon. Totally looks like bacon. Well, maybe like turkey bacon, maybe. I don't know. Oh, Judy, that would be awesome. That would be awesome. Thank you, Judy. Judy says she has to get one of the hoodies. Pink's her favorite. You know what? I never was like too much of a pink person, but I love it. I love it. I love the color. I love the pink. And there's lighter pink too, I think. I got to do this. Hi, Ian. How are you? Thank you for being here. Let's see. Stacy says, afternoon funny. Okay, we're gonna put it up here so everybody. I'm hand knitting while watching you. I have a preschooler. Just amazed at how fast you can crank and knit. He told me to speed up. Okay. He's probably like, tell her to be quiet and keep cranking, right? So funny. Okay, Kim, yeah. Okay, it was your daughter at Brentwood. Yeah, I had a friend that went to it. So I know exactly where Brentwood is. And then I think you said, was she also teaching? Did she used to teach at Frankie Park or whatever? Yeah. I remember, here's a story, Kim. I don't know. I'll tell this story. I don't know if anybody wants to hear it, but I'll tell it. When I was a kid, I was supposed to go to like Girl Scout day camp. And I don't remember what grade it was. I think it was like 2nd or 3rd grade. And back when I was a kid, guys, we didn't like, we were alone. We were like latchkey kids. So my mom paid for the babysitter up until about 1st grade. And then after that, I was on my own, guys. I walked to school by myself. I went and did whatever I had to do. I had my bike and I just went. And I remember it was summer break and we were supposed to walk up to the elementary school and get on the bus to go to Girl Scout day camp. And so a friend of mine and me were doing this. So we lived in the neighborhood together. So we went up to the school and we got on the bus. There were other kids there, so nobody thought anything of it. I didn't think anything of the fact that there were boys on the bus too, and it was going to Girl Scout camp. But anyways, I was young and I didn't, I didn't think about it. I didn't know what was going on. So we get on this bus and we end up at Franke Park, where the zoo is in Fort Wayne, Indiana. And my friend and I are like, this is not Girl Scout camp. This is not Girl Scout camp. We were supposed to be at Girl Scout camp. And so they're like, what are you talking about? And I said, we were told to go get on the bus up at the elementary school to go to Girl Scout camp. So we got on the wrong bus, and nobody said didn't say where it was going. We just got on the bus with all the rest of the kids. So it took them almost all day to figure out how to get us to where we were supposed to be. So we missed our first day of day camp. Yeah. All right, guys. So this is why I hold it. There's a knot here. There's a knot. Can you see that? And I don't want to put that. I don't really want to put that through the machine because I don't know if it's going to go on the outside of my knitting or on the inside. Like when I knot color changes, I usually, those are all on the inside, in between, sandwiched in between the layers. I don't know where that's going to show up. So I'm going to go ahead and cut that as close as I can. And I'm going to do a color change here. This is what you do for a color change. Let me see if I can. I don't think I can zoom in. You guys might be able to. Okay. So I'm just getting a little closer forward here. I'm going to do this. Let me move my camera just a little bit here. There we go. All right. So I dropped that one in because I don't remember who was it. Somebody wanted to see a color change. This is exactly how you would do a color change. I'm going to snip off this little knot here. And it went on the floor, and that's fine, whatever. And I'm going to bring in, like, if this was my one color and I want to change a color, I'm going to bring in my next color. Now, if I was doing this for a color change, I would do it on the number 48 and 1 pin. That's where I would do it. But since the knot is here, I'm just going to do it right where the knot's at. So I bring in my next, piece of yarn. I lay it beside there. See, we got this one here with the needle. It's wrapped around it. This one, we're laying it beside. I put it in the yarn keeper, and then I'm going to put it in the tension guide. Hold on. So I drop it in here, lay it in. I hold on to these two tails. I'm going to snap this into my middle tension guide. I'm going to bring my hand through. See that? I'm going to grab these tails. My nose is itchy. Sorry. I'm going to grab these tails and I'm going to crank, and I'm just going to go slow, but I'm kind of pulling on these so that it'll pick up the yarn here, this needle will. And I just hold it and do it a few, and now it's in there. So then I'll go, hold the Yanni. Let me move that just a little bit. So now I'll just crank a few rounds. I don't tie this yet. I don't do anything with it. I know it's hard to see because it's all the same color of yarn. We're going to do a few more rounds. I like to do like 3 or 4, unless I'm changing colors and then I have to tie it in sooner. I'll do one more round here, and then I will half knot it. So you can kind of see I have a hole here. There's a hole, right, where I haven't tied it yet. So I usually get to where it's across from me, and then I just pull it, snug it up, and then I just do a half knot. I do not knot it, and I'll leave it. And then once I'm done with it, I will stretch it, and then I will knot it off. And I have to say, hello to Trisha. How are you? I'm so happy you're here. Okay, let's see. And let's see. We have some other questions here. I want to answer them, and then I'll keep going. How many pins? This is a 48 pin machine. That's what I like for making hats, is the 48 pin. Okay. So Liz says, can you message me about the best hoops to start with? I seriously need to use up my stash, and this would be the best for hats and scarves. I'm actually going to talk about this. I'm going to talk about this while I'm cranking here. I would love to say that these machines are like the best for stash busting. But they aren't always, depending on what yarn you have. 3 or 4 weight yarn works best, but some yarns do not go through the machine as well. So what do I mean by that? Like Red Heart Super Saver doesn't work well in my machines, but it may work in yours. So just know, I would probably get a 48 pin to start because I like the fit better for the hats. But if you have tons and tons, see, it looks like it's hesitating to me a little bit. If you have tons and tons of yarn, you know, you can consider an Addy 46. You can do more varieties of yarn, but just know that your hats will be the fit of them will be more snug. Now, if you can figure out a way, I should give this as a caveat. If you guys can figure out a way to do looser tension without dropping stitches with a softer yarn, I think you could probably get a decent fit hat on the Addy. But like for me, I do a tight tension, and I know that the looser you go, the greater chance you'll have drops. Or if you do 3-weight yarn in the Addy, you could probably get a better fit too. But I just know that I've made several hats with my Addy, and they all seem to be too tight for my head. And some of my kids that aren't even adults yet. So now I know there's lots of people that make hats on the Addy 46s and they don't ever have any issue, and they say they're great. I think everybody has different size heads. I was watching It's Me Polly B for just a short bit on TikTok today. She was live again making hats, and she does them on the 46. I just think they're tighter. They have to be tighter. If you look, they're more stretched out when someone puts them on their head. Okay, let's see. But Liz, I would go with either the Loombot or the Central 48 to start. That's just my suggestion. And plus it's less expensive. I have one of these machines, but I have such a hard time with drop stitches. Crystal, is it drops like pantyhose run? Like you get a big old gappy hole that goes all the way down? Or is it just like one hole and your tension's all wonky? Because there's a difference between a drop stitch and a tuck stitch. And a drop stitch is generally always tension related or machine malfunction. Usually not, well, it can be user error if you're not holding enough tension. But a tuck stitch happens mainly because of static and yarn. And these are great. I got myself some more because I'm going to use them because I know it's starting to get dry and I'm going to start having tucks. But this is a great thing to use for static with tuck stitches. You just stick it onto the front of your machine. I just picked some more up yesterday at the Walmart. Do you like the Loombot better than the Centro? Cheri Chambers Hammond asked. I kind of do. I do think they're similar though. And as I've been using my Loombot a lot lately. It's starting to not crank as smooth as it did in the beginning. So it's becoming more and more just like my Centro 48. But I still love it. I don't know if it's the color, but I still love it. Let's see. Monoma? Is that how you say that? Monoma? I'm doing well, thank you. Oh, you are so welcome, Terry. Okay, let me go down here too. And we have I can't, from Mexico. Well, thank you for watching. I'm not even going to say your name. I want to say your name, but I'm afraid I will insult you with my pronunciation. What type of yarn? Caitlin asked, what type of yarn do I recommend? I recommend a soft, shiny, squishy yarn. Heartland by Lion Brand. This is Karen Simply Soft. I also love Yarn Bee Soft Secret. I love, let's see what else. I love Big Twist Shine. I love the Loops and Threads Facet yarn. I'm going to be posting a video about that and some comparison yarns to that soon. But because I have some comments on that type of yarn, I really like it. Goes through the machine really well, but there's some things about it that are a little bit interesting. So I'm going to do a video on that. That's coming out soon. But anything that's shiny, soft, and squishy and a 4-weight, that's what I like. That's what I prefer. I think that's what the machines like better. I'm not a fan of Super Saver yarns. I mostly have mandala cakes that are free. Those usually do great. You're not the one that said you had drop stitches, are you? No, I don't think you are. Then you should be good. If that's what you use, because I think you were asking me, if that's what you use, the mandala cakes are great. That's what I made my sweater out of. I've made several hats. The other thing I've done, guys, I don't know, I haven't tried it on the Centro, but if you have an Addy, something that I've done is it's a 3-weight mandala yarn from Lion Brand. I think it's a 3-weight, not the 4-weight, because some of the cakes are 3, some are 4, and I put 2 strands together, and it actually worked, and it made a really cool hat. Oh, awesome! Andrew just got into the live, and it's the best decision I've taken watching you from Spain. Oh, thank you. So sweet. I'm so happy you're here. Thank you for watching over on the YouTube. Thank you all for my YouTube supporters. This is so cool because, guys, I can see like Trisha is on. See how she has the little Facebook symbol, and Alexandru has the little YouTube symbol. It's so cool. I have all of you all in one place, and I just love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. See, Debbie, this is genius. This is a great thing. She does kids hats with the Addy, adult hats with the Centro. I think that's an awesome way to go. If you don't want to invest in both, then just get the bigger one. But yes, I've been doing that too. Like I'll pop my Addy down for doing kids hats because it does crank a little. It doesn't it, Debbie? It cranks a little easier than the Centros or the Loomba even. Yeah, and Trisha, Trisha can do. She can use the Red Heart Super Saver in both her Addy and her Centro. She hasn't tried it. She just got her Loomba. You'll have to let me know, Trisha, how you do with it. I tried it in mine and I got tucks right away. So you'll have to let me know how it works for you. Oh, Crystal says pantyhose run. Okay, Crystal, then that is a couple things you want to look for. Do you hold your yarn when you're cranking? Like, hold on. I want to show this really quick. You can see me here, a little bit more of me. I hold my yarn, guys, down here. I hold on to it while, even though it's in the tension guide, I don't know if you all can see, but down here, I hold it in my hand and I kind of put my thumb on it, and I'm still putting tension on it too while I'm cranking. And if you don't do that, sometimes your yarn can jump here and then your needles won't pick it up. But the other thing I want you to look at is look and see if it's sitting in your yarn feeder okay. Because sometimes the yarn feeders are like misshapen and it could be a machine issue. Just make sure. Like I will tell you, I've been using my my drill attachment, which I don't suggest doing because it'll burn your machine up. And I'm not using it on my loom, but I'm using it on my Centro. And it's like I've eaten up. My yarn feeder is kind of getting a gouge in it. And pretty soon what's going to happen is I will get drop stitches if I'm not careful because it's not holding my yarn out, appropriately for the needle to pick it up if it's not in there right. So yeah, try holding your yarn if you're not already holding your yarn, and give your machine a good look over and see if it isn't your machine. But I do know like lighter weight yarns sometimes will drop easier too. So Liz, so what is it that I'm making a hat, Liz? Trisha says she loves the silicone earplugs. Is this what you use, Trisha? See, this is, or something similar. This is what they're like $3. Gosh, they're more expensive than I thought they were. They were almost $4 at Walmart, I think. All right. Let me try not to bump the table there. All right, where are we at? We're about halfway through here. I got to keep cranking and we'll never get a hat done. My nose is so itchy because I got like fuzz on my nose or something. It's like itching like crazy. I have winter allergies too, which is the strangest thing. Merry Christmas to you. Thank you for saying that. I have cones and cones of brown sheep wool. Will I have issues on the Addy or the Centro or the Loomba? I don't know. I will tell you, this was the first yarn that I used. Oh, I got to get a tissue. Hold on. Sorry, guys. This was the first yarn that I used that had any blend. I always use acrylic yarn. Mainly it's just what I gravitate to because I like that shiny soft yarn, and that's acrylic yarn, guys. That's you're gonna get that with acrylic. Any kind of like natural fibers, they're gonna be more dull and matted or matte. But this is the Wool Ease recycled yarn. It has a little bit of wool in it, and I was concerned that with the natural fiber that it might not give as much and it would not knit up as well. I got this yarn at Walmart. They didn't have very many colors, but it did really well. It went through the machine like butter. So I don't know. I think some wool, and the other one I did the other day, this one here, it's not a lot of wool, but there's a little bit of wool in it. And this did really well as well. This had a lot of, it has like a polyamide, so more plasticky stuff, but it was really bad with the static. And I was so afraid I was going to have tucks. See how this is? Let me show you. I don't know if y'all can see. Let me get it if it'll show. It's like fuzzy. It has that what do I want to say? What's that called? Like that halo-y kind of fuzz. And it likes to stick to itself in the static, but it didn't tuck at all. So I don't know. I have not used a ton of natural fibers. So really, I've just been starting to play around with some blends. So you just have to try it and see, really. Liz says, what I really want to know is what is the best starter machine? I don't want to spend money for it just to collect dust. Liz, okay, so this is the thing. Let me go back to my face because I want to talk to y'all about this. Hold on. Let me go back. Let's me go back to my face. There we go. Sorry. Whoa, that was crazy. Okay, so this is the thing. You have the Loombot and the Central 48, right? Loombot, Central 48. I think the fit is better for the hats. I think just hands down. I know the Addy lovers will fight me all day long. I love my Addy too, but I think the fit is better. The 2 pins make a difference. It just is it makes a bigger tube. And I actually have, because I did the videos. It makes, here's the Addy 46. Actually, here, let me show you guys. I'll do down again. Hold on. Let me go. Let me do this. Let's me get it. Okay. So I have 2 tubes here. This, you can see I'm lining them up, right? Lining them up over here, lining them up. This is the Centro. This is the Addy. Centro, Addy. Now I can stretch them and stuff too and make it a little bit bigger even more. But this is the Centro tube. This is the Addy tube. That little bit makes a huge difference for fit. But now, okay, let's talk crafters, right? When I started, I didn't have the money to buy the Addy. At that time, I didn't have enough. And I read all the reviews about the Central 48s, and they were all like, it's a piece of crap, right? And I'm sure that's probably where you're at too. Because if you read them, that's what they'll say. And this is the thing. If you're not sure you're going to like it, don't buy the Addy. Buy the Centro or the Loombot, the 48 pin, and see if you like it. But I will say they're a little bit more finicky than the Addy. The Addy still has its issues at times, but it's a little bit more forgiving with yarn types and things. But it's a lot more money. So you could buy several Centros or Loombots to one Addy. And right now, I think the Addy, I don't know if anybody's looked lately, but the Addy, I think, might be as much as $200 or more again. And as Christmas pops in here, it's going to get more expensive. So if it was me, my advice as crafter to maybe another crafter, and you're not sure if you're going to like it, like you said, you don't want it to collect dust, but if it's going to collect dust, $200 versus $60, you can buy a lot more yarn if you spend the $60 as opposed to, and Addie's probably going to hate me because I don't really like, I just know how I am. I don't want to say about wasting money. I thought when I started, I didn't know if I would like this. I love it, guys. And, you know, I'm a year plus later. That's about a year ago. I started a little over a year ago. You see, like, the channel and all the things. I absolutely love doing this. It hasn't worn off. I still have ideas of things I want to do that I haven't done yet. I love making hats and giving them away. It's so anyway, Liz, I get a 48, start there. Because, think about it. If you're going to go out to dinner, you're going to spend more than $59 generally. Spend $59, see if you like it. Get some good yarn that it will like some Karen Simply Soft or some Lion Brand Heartland or something like that. Or Mandala, the Lion Brand Mandala. I don't know if you were the one that mentioned that. I keep getting confused who says what here. But anyways, that's what I would do. That's my advice. Okay. I could just talk about it all day long. I could. Froggy Knits! Hi, how are you? Thank you for popping in here. All right, let me see. What am I missing here? Miss Lady Lopez, Super Saver is very tough for me in the Loombot. Okay, so you've tried it and it hasn't been real good, has it? See, I tried it and I immediately got tucks. But I tried a print. So a solid, a lot of times, if you stay away from red, stay away from white, stay away from the the variegated colors or the printed colors, the print colors, sometimes it'll be better. Brooke, what machine would you recommend for the newbie? Same, Brooke. I would do a 48 pin. Debbie asked about what's the difference. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Because I'll tell you, I had someone in our group who ordered, and I think it was Judy. I think Judy was on. I think Judy might still be on here. Ordered the Loomba and got the Central 48. So what that tells me is if they were out of, and if you order the Loomba on Amazon, if that's where she ordered it, you're ordering it from Fat Brain Toys. So I assume that, and it's a branded like loom for Fat Brain Toys. So if they send a Central 48, what that tells me is that it's probably the same machine. So I think they're similar, but I will tell you, I like my Loombot better. I do like it better. I do, but I still use my Central 48 just as much, but now I've been using it with the drill attachment, which I probably shouldn't. Olivia, Merry Christmas to you too. Please, I need a way to make sweaters. Do you have any YouTube channel to watch? Olivia, I don't. What I did when I made a sweater was I just went on and just started searching for sweaters, but I will tell you, I couldn't find a pattern on the videos that I liked. So I kind of just came up with my own and made four panels and 2 tubes and made a sweater. But just kind of do that. Just go on YouTube and search circular knitting machine sweaters or Centra sweater or Addie sweater, and see what pops up, because there are several YouTube videos out there. I have not made one yet, and I don't know if I will. I don't know if I'm brave enough to do that tutorial or not. I don't feel as confident about making sweaters yet. That's not to say down the road, I think I would like to do more of that. I have an idea. I was talking to my daughter. Y'all see the crazy like cardigan that I wear? She made me, that she crocheted for me. I want to do a duplicate of that, but with squares, make squares out of my 40 machine. But my 40 doesn't have a counter, and I need to order a counter for it before I try that. But I was talking to her about her pattern, because she didn't have a pattern. She made one up. So I was kind of going through like how many of the little squares what I need to make. The only thing that scares me, guys, is I will have to close all of them. Like, so that means waste yarn, and I don't always get along, but it would be a good practice. It would be a good practice. Closing my tubes is not, I'm not always the best at it. When I made the mittens, guys, did you see the mittens? When I made the mittens, and I should show you. Okay, everybody's like, oh, Cheri, you do so good, right? They don't, I didn't do as well on connecting my thumbs. Here, look. See, it's not super good. My join's not super good. And this one, let's see, I'll do it on this side so you can see. But I love them. They're super warm and they're super comfortable. But see, I don't do the best. I'm still practicing. I'm still working on my skill, guys, just like everybody. But I had to use waste yarn, and I shouldn't be giving away any of her pattern, but I had to use waste yarn for the thumbs, and I had to close off. It was hard, guys. It was hard for me. I don't think that's hard for everybody, but it still is a little bit of a struggle. I still struggle with the waste yarn. Anybody else? Okay, tell me. Raise your hand or do something. Do you struggle with waste yarn? Because I struggle with closing my tubes. And I do, like, I count and I do, and I think that's where like someone who crochets is probably way better. And I do crochet, but I'm still a newbie at that too. So I still struggle with that a bit. Not gonna lie, still struggle. Let's see. Teresa said Addie is 206 or more. So okay, see, it's went up. Like when I got mine, it was 250. Eek. And then and I know just not that long ago, it was like $190 or 100 and whatever. So it's going to keep creeping up. So if you do want to get it before it creeps up anymore. Especially with all the hats and gloves drives right now. Yes. It's very rewarding when you donate. Yes, Anna, it is. I love it so much. I really want to complain to you guys though. I really want to tell you about my weekend. Like I did the 14 hat donation yesterday at church. It's our church. I'm not going to though, because it's not good things that I want to say or share. Let's just say some people at church are mean. That's all I'm gonna say. And it just drives me crazy. It just drives me nuts. So my yesterday, I kind of struggled with it a bit because I was happy to be able to help with their donations for these senior bags, because they give out these bags. They did it the last couple of years. They get a grant and they fill them with stuff, and I was happy to be able to put hats in them. But sometimes, guys, Sometimes people, even in church, are not very nice. Timu has the Centro knitting machine. I got it for $16.99 to try it. Yes, Cindy. Okay, I know a lot of people are Timu haters, and I completely get it. But my last Centro 48 I got for 13. Same thing. I got it for $13.99 because I had never purchased anything on there. So that's another way if you guys are bargain shoppers. If you want to try it, like get the app, buy the machine, delete the app. You know, whatever you want to do. I'm all about saving money, right? Debbie says she uses the drill too. Okay, Liz says, is it, let me post this so everybody can see it. Is it Bird and Chandy from Expression Fiber Arts has some really great sweater tutorials. Oh, I gotta write, hold on, I got my little notepad here because I like to I'm gonna write down Expression Fiber Arts because I'm still learning about people that are out there. Hold on. Un momento. I'm gonna write this down. So we're gonna check them out, guys. We're gonna check them out. And while I'm saying that too, you guys all have to go to the PJ Mommy over on YouTube and support her channel. Give her some love because she's been helping with moderation. Okay, what is this? Expression Fiber Arts. All right, I wrote that down. Okay. All right. I am having to rearrange my house duties days. I love watching. Oh, Pammy F, thank you so much. Thank you. Connie says she struggles. So, okay. So is that you guys with the closing? Never use waste yarn. Alexandra, I only use it when I have to close tubes. I will tell you, I was doing a little, I'm going to call it research, but I was just watching lots of YouTube with people that make hats on YouTube with the machines. And there are quite a few people that do tutorials on making a hat with waste yarn. And I don't get it. Okay. Come in close here. I don't get it. You can see it. You can't see. I don't get it. I don't get, because for me, if you're starting out, waste yarn is not easier, people. It's not easier. I realize some people will say that you get a better finish. I don't think that's true. That's just me. I think if you can cinch your yarn, if the yarn is cinchable, which is almost everything that I've ever recommended, you can cinch it. Now, some of the yarns I will tell you have to be careful when you tie them off because you can break the yarn. But you don't need to use waste yarn to make a hat. You don't. So now if you're doing that, that's more power to you if you feel comfortable and you feel like you can see those stitches. But I do know a lot of people drop when they cast off, but there's ways to prevent that. Once I go to cast off here, we'll talk about that. Okay, we're going back there. Sorry, had to. Charlene says, hey, like, okay. See, it doesn't come up with the little emoji, but I understand what she means. She was doing that. Tricia says struggles with waste yarn. Yes. So, you're not alone if you have the waste yarn struggle. The PJ Mommy says I use waste yarn when I do scrunchies. See, PJ Mommy, though, you're like a crocheter lady, right? Like, do you struggle at all with the waist yarn? Because when you're doing a smaller thing, what happens for me, and it might be I'm pulling too much. So like when I'm closing, I might start single crocheting my ends because I think that would pull, like for my waist yarn, closing them with single crochet versus doing the slip stitch. Because when I slip crochet them together, it pulls and it pulls and it pulls and it pulls. And I use stitch markers at those ends, like 4, because it just, sometimes it's not even not seeing the stitch. It's that I pulled so much that it's tight and I can't get my hook like through there to even get it. You know what I mean? Maybe I'm just doing it wrong. I don't know. Trisha says I still struggle with color changes sometimes too. It's all good, Trisha. You do great though. You make great hats. So waste yarn is horrible, Kathy says. We shouldn't all be waste yarn haters, but I'll tell you, if I have to avoid it, I will. You look on UK Amazon for Addy. Just look. Okay, Froggy Knit says UK Amazon for the Addy. So they have it on there. And you know what? I had someone tell me that she was in Berlin, I think. Morgan Von Yarn, if you want to go find her. She has TikTok and YouTube, I believe. She's a really sweet lady. And Instagram. She's in Berlin, I believe. And she said it was cheaper to get the Addy where she was than to get the Centro. So Oh, I just looked UK at 2:30. So maybe not. Maybe not. Maybe not. Maybe not. Oh, and Liz said, how sad. Are we talking about when I made the comment about church? Probably. Yeah, it is sad. What on earth could they be mean about? Some people are too much. You know what? Okay. This is the thing. Yeah, they're just, we were just doing these bags and nobody wanted to, like, it wasn't my project. So I didn't want to like step up. I was just there to help. My family was just there to help. So I didn't want to like overtake the project. And I'm type A personality, right? Not going to lie. And I'm probably telling you way too much. And if people from my church watched me, they would know. But so I got to be careful. But I don't think any of them do, which is kind of interesting. But anyways, we were doing it and there was all kinds of tension because obviously some people wanted to do it a different way, but nobody wanted to speak up about how we were putting stuff in bags for people in need. And it got to the point where some of those people were being nasty to the other, being nasty to me, being nasty, like just saying things that were like, what I want to say, passive aggressive and just not nice. And I think we're in church. I don't know. And some people wonder why people don't go. And then somebody acts like that. And then it just drives me crazy. We're all sinners, guys. That's just the way I feel, but it just blows my mind sometimes how, I don't know. And then I come and then I get up in the morning and I read my comments and it's all the crazies. And yeah, everybody needs a big hug in this world. Just give them a big hug. It's easy once you get the hang of it, Liz says. Am I pulling too much, Liz? Maybe that's it. Maybe I'm pulling too much. I'm thinking that's what I'm doing. Like I'm pulling too much. I think I'm going to try. You guys, I'll try single crochet to close some and we'll see if that maybe is a little bit easier. Hello, Veronica in San Antonio, Texas. Sometimes church people are the worst. Jealous, mean. Isn't that Cynthia? What is it? It shouldn't be like that, though. It shouldn't be like that. Like, some of the most judgmental people that I've ever experienced are supposed to be my fellow, like, Christians. And I have to be careful because I'll tell you, I've already been, this is another thing. I'm going to tell you guys, okay, I'm all about sharing here. So we're going to just share away. All right, guys. So I started Hoop and Home LLC, right? I was not monetizing any of my videos for like at all. I could have been for a long time and I wasn't. So I am now. I have since I started the business, but I will tell you, and Facebook is probably going to give me some bad whatever from talking about this, but I can't on some of my stuff on Facebook. I can't. It won't allow me to because of misinformation. Now, they haven't said that. I've talked to them. I've got the Meta verified for my account. And I think it's either one of two things. It's because I've talked about prayer, Christianity, or all the people that have turned me in for misinformation for my hats and my buttons. Whatever. It's whatever it is. But I just had to share that. So now you know. I had somebody, the PJ Mommy did, when we were on the one time on the live, and somebody mentioned something about not being able to, or Facebook being funny about saying, you know, like, subscribe, share, whatever, that kind of stuff. And I said, I don't worry about it. Well, and I don't, it is what it is. Right. But I just think it's interesting. I tried to talk to them about, I thought it was a glitch with my account. No, they're like, you're just breaking rules, but they won't tell me what the rules are. So it's got to be like, I don't know. I think it might be what I've said. I don't know. It's really odd. So anyways, I'm just going to be rebellious and I'm going to keep talking about it. Whatever. Okay. So let me go back to cranking. Sorry. Let's see. Does the uniform make a silk scarf? Oh, I don't know that you could use silk on it. I don't know. No one should be mean to your head. Thank you, Anna. I think so too, but no, people are people. I don't think it has anything to do with even what topic. People are just kind of funny. But I have had people personally send me messages over on Facebook where they have turned my channel in because I'm pretending to hand make stuff and I'm not hand making anything. So, and it's all because of these buttons that I use. It's all because of those. Let's see if it'll focus. But it says handmade with love. And those are what cause all the controversy on my page. Miss Lady Lopez, don't let anyone discourage you from doing good deeds. This world needs lots of love. And you seem like, oh, thank you. And I'm not saying stuff to try to get, like, for you guys to, like, you know, tell me I'm amazing, because that's not it either. It's just that I'm just sharing like you guys are my friends. Probably more than I should, but okay, the PJ Mommy says Addies are also very expensive here in Canada. That's why I use the Central. Are they really? Is it? I wonder why. Because of shipping, probably. Because they come from Germany. Is that why? Oh, Diana says, okay, everybody, here we go. Fat Brain Toys has a 15% discount promo code that expires 12/13. I ordered my Loombot last night. So, is it right on their page, Diana? For the 15% discount? Do they have free shipping too? I'm asking lots of questions. So anyways, everybody go check that out if you haven't got the Loombot or you're thinking about it. There, save yourself some moolah. Any advice on the Central 22 making loud cranking noises and get stuck a few pins in, but it doesn't with my... Oh, Sheena, I do have advice on that. Let me see how many... I can maybe show you. I don't remember which live it was, but I showed like how to cast on and not have that happen, and then what not to do. And then I broke a needle on mine. So you really, the thing is, I would show you, but I want to move on to some color changes on here after I do this hat. But you want a very loose cast on. The Centro 20 or not, well, yeah, the Centro 22. I'm thinking about the Addy 22. It's the same thing. And I think, actually, hold on. Get stuck a few pins in, but doesn't with my... It's probably because the Centro 22 is very temperamental. I have the same thing. Is it going kunk, 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 kunk when you... Like, it'll go for a while, and then it'll go like it clicks, and then it'll pick up again. It might be that the gears are grinding, but what's happening is it's not like like your knitting isn't dropping properly, and it is a lot more problematic with yarn than even the Centro 48 is. So that's why I ended up honestly getting an Addy 22. But I will tell you, I started talking about the Addy 22 in the beginning, confusing it with the Centro that you mentioned. And the Addy 22 will still be a little bit of a pain in the butt in the beginning, just like the Centro. Heather, I have a Centro 48 and I really like it. It doesn't seem to have many issues. I did get the Addy 22 because reviews were so bad on the Centros. It is super noisy. Yes, it is. Like, it's really, the Addies are really noisy, Heather. They're really clanky. And then when you get to the black pins right here, it really, because it has the manual counter, it's really clunky through that. And that's totally normal. And mine squeaks too, guys. Especially since I replaced the needle, it seems to squeak even more. Hear it? It's like got a squeaky squeak there. But yeah, they're definitely noisier for sure. But they do, at least mine works, works quite a bit better than my Centro. Yeah, and PJ Mommy says the gears are not great on the Centro 22. There's a vendor on Etsy that sells. You know what? You've mentioned that before. The PJ Mommy mentioned this before, and I think I want to try to order them. I'll have to look that up. I'm gonna make myself a note because I think I'd like to replace mine on the Centro 22 and see. Centro 22 new gears Etsy. Thank you for reminding me of that, the PJ Mommy. Debbie says, I agree. I never use waist yarn. I think it's pointless and usually end up with knots. Yeah, I just have problems with it. I know there are lots of people who either struggle with casting on, well, not casting on, because you have to cast on even with waist yarn, but casting off. So they use waist yarn because of the cast off. And you have to, well, you wouldn't have to do it, I guess, on both of them for a hat, but I just don't, you don't need to. So I don't, it just makes it harder, I think. But some people do the single crochet method. I have a friend that makes headbands on her Addy, and she does it single crochet method. She thought I was crazy to do the other way. See, I think it might be easier. I might have to try the single crochet. That might actually be easier than trying to do the slip, the slip stitch. Liz says yes about church. Yeah. I heard when you cast on with waist yarn, use 4 rows of waste yarn, then only 1 row of another contrasting waste yarn, and back to your cast on, cast off just waste yarn the regular way. Yeah, you know what? I have been using that method where you do a slip line for your waste yarn, and it does work really nice. Somebody had mentioned that to me. I don't know if it was Cheri Yaney or somebody, and I've seen where other people have done it. Lori from the Knitting Sisters, I think, does this, where you use like waste yarn, and then you do one round of another color, and then you do your whatever the your color is that you're actually cranking, and then you can actually pull out that line, and then your waste yarn comes off really easy. And that's for the beginning waste yarn, like the waste yarn when you're first casting on, that doesn't pull off very easily, or it won't. Where the ending waste yarn, when you're at the end of your project, you can actually pull that off really easy. So that slip, what do they even call it? Like the easy pull for the waste yarn, it does work really nice, especially for that beginning cast. So I have been doing that. Hello, Mr. Pitcat. I am doing well. Thank you for asking. Should a scarf be a single panel or double like the hats that I made? I want to make matching scarves, but I haven't made one yet. You know what, Leisha? I have not made a scarf either, but I would do a double, because that's going to be much more plush. If you do a panel, what you're going to get, this is a sweater that I made. You're going to get this, like, the purl side and the knit side, and it's not going to be as nice. I mean, you could do it as a light scarf, but you're going to get rolled edges too. I would do it as a double. I would do it as a tube if it was me. That's what I would suggest, doing it as a tube. PJ Mommy says big hugs, everyone. You know what? I must be really far behind here in my comments here, following the comments. I want to read Carrie's thing here. It says, think of the person who will receive a nice warm hat this winter. I go to the Cancer Center once a month. There is a container in the waiting room full of handmade hats. They are very appreciative by patients who are ready. Oh, see, that's really sweet. That is so sweet. Yeah. Yes. The PJ Mommy. Yes. Yeah. And I think what's happened, like when I talked about the monetization getting like where I'm like not following the partner, whatever, it's people turn me in. They like it. I had somebody just tell me that they did on YouTube just the other day, because they're like, you're an awful, lying, cheating person, and you shouldn't be allowed to say your stuff's handmade. And they turned in my YouTube channel, or at least they said they did. I don't ever know, because YouTube doesn't tell me. Okay, I'm gonna scroll all the way to the bottom. I know I can always go back. Oh wow, I missed a lot of stuff there. Oh, PJ, don't get me started on the handmade issue. All I will say is sewing machines, yes. Well, I think about, like, my dad was a woodworker, and he would make bowls and spoons and pens, and he called them handmade. And he used a lathe, and he used a table saw, and he used some hand tools as well, but he has lots of tools. Lots and lots of tools. And the thing about a sewing machine, the PJ Mommy, is you have to plug it in. Most people aren't pumping it with their foot. This we have to crank, but we can hook it up to a drill if we want to. And sometimes I do that. All right, we're close to being done here, and then I'll cast off. Yeah, actually, Miss Lady Lopez, I'm going to finish this hat out so you'll get to see that. I'll do that here in just a few minutes. I just have to finish cranking it out here. I got the camper bouncing out, and you guys can see like the camera shaking. All right, so not too much more, and then we'll cast off. And then I'll put these palms on too. All right, we're on our, oh, you know what? I'm going to do 131 because I wasn't paying attention here. That's all right. Let's see. See how it's getting pretty squeaky? It's getting pretty squeaky. There we go. All right, so now we're going to cast off. So, okay, for the cast off process, let me just do that so we can show. There we go. Okay. All right. So what I do is I wrap my yarn all the way around my machine. And this is more than you'll need. Let me show you. Wrap it all the way around. And then I cut it. And then I get my needle, like my tapestry needle or darning needle or whatever it's called here. And I put it in the thing. And you could use the needle that comes with the machine or whatever you prefer. I really like this metal bent one. Is my favorite. Okay. So now what I'm going to do is I hold my yarn here. I wonder if I can zoom in. Hold on. I'm going to see if I can zoom in, guys. I might be able to. Waha. No, it won't stay zoomed in. So that's not going to work. It won't let me. I don't know. I can't do it on here either. I don't think. Hold on. Let's me see. Let me see. Sorry, I'm playing with it. Let's see what this does. Cinema layout. What is that? Let's see what that does. Well, that doesn't work. Maybe. I don't know if that works any better. Okay. Well, what we want to do is you want to just hold your yarn and then we're going to crank and just crank till you get like one released. So it's still hooked on. So here's number 48 pin. That's the yarn coming off. Number 1 is released. I can go ahead and pick this up. When I do this, since this one's not released, I don't have to worry about it. But if I would release a few of them, hold on, I'll show you. If I release a few at a time, so now all of these are released. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 are released. So they can fall off and I can lose them. Like, you know, I can have a drop stitch. So as I'm casting off, just pick one up, put your finger right here if you want, or you could do it this way. That's what I would do. Go like that, move over to the next one, put your finger on top of it and just go slow. I know you want to finish because I know if you're like me, you get anxious and you just want to be done with the whole thing, right? Just go slow and do it one at a time like that. Now, I will tell you, I have gotten here lately, guys, where I'm releasing and then I will go like 1 and I'll hold it with my finger, 2, 3. But if you do this too soon, like right now, I've got a lot of tension on it. I have to be really careful, but I have dropped. I have been dropping by doing that. So you have to, if you do it this way, you have to be really mindful because if I pull up, that stitch is going to pop off and then I'll drop that stitch and you don't want to do that because you could save it, but it's not easy. Saving the stitch at the end is not easy to do. So you're just better off just doing them one at a time. Really, if you're having issue with cast off, just do them one at a time like this. And when you pull, try to pull this way, like pull towards you and not straight up. So as you're taking it off, pull this way, like towards you and not straight up. Because if you pull straight up, like when you're coming through, if I went like this and I pulled straight up, you're going to pull that next stitch right off and drop it. So just that's it. That's really, it's not difficult. It's just you really want to take your time and just kind of be careful. Now, I know if you watch other people cast off, I know this because I've watched them too. They'll go through and they'll release all of their stitches before they start. And you're just like testing fate, you know, if you do that. And you can get to the point where you're good enough, you know, or you're confident enough that you can do that. But I still don't do it. And I have just gotten to where I'll do multiple. I didn't used to do that because I had problems where if I didn't pull it just right or I wasn't paying attention, I would drop the stitch. So anyways, that's how you do it. You just go around to all of your stitches. And see, to me, this is way easier than using waste yarn. Like just being real careful when I'm going through. Like I almost pulled one off there, so be really careful because it happens. Or if your yarn kind of gets snagged, you just want to be careful, careful, careful. So we'll go through and get this all cast off, and then we will close it. We'll show you how to make the tube, all the things. The other thing you have to be careful of if you get too much yarn is your tail, because if you get your tail, like it can tangle too, and that's an issue, because I've had that happen to me. All right. And then we have our last one, and I'll move the machine out of the way and then I'll show you. Okay, so there we go. And I have that knot I have to tie. So let me get the machine out of the way. Let's see, let me go back to here so you can see. I'll get the machine out of the way. Let's see. Trying to go too quickly and I couldn't fix. So I did. Yes. Miss Lady Lopez. She said, yeah, she was going too quickly. She dropped stitches. I had it happen to me just the other day. I had it happen. And I will tell you, then people talk about it not being handmade. And if you do crank out the whole thing, crank all those cranks, and then you have to start all over, which I just did just the other day. It happened to me when I was making one of the hats that I donated at church, where I dropped one and I tried to save it and I couldn't save it. So I just started all over. I'm going to set this off to the side here. Okay, so these my big honking clamps. Let me get those out of the way. Sorry. All right. Yeah, and JP says, can you show us how to attach the poms to the hats or talk about it? Yes, absolutely. I will do that right now. Yeah, and Kim says you won't do more than 3 at a time. Heather says, I discovered while watching your green guy video that I was casting off backwards. I was going from the outside to the inside and the other way around. So much easier and faster. Yes, inside out. Don't go like this. Go from the inside out. That's good point, Heather. Good point. Yeah, and I'll let you guys all read that. See, she was going from the, and it makes sense if you're not sitting from the point of view of the person, actually cranking. It'd be easy to just go from the outside in and not think anything of it. Yeah. Yes. So much easier. So I bet you were having trouble when you would cinch. It was probably getting hung up. Okay. So now I just stretch, guys. I'm just stretching this bacon hat because it looks like bacon. It kind of looks, it's pretty though. I like it. Okay. So we're going to turn this inside out because I have to tie. And this is how, for a color change, this is exactly what I do. You can't see it very well because it's the same color. But remember, I had that knot. If you weren't with me, I had a knot in my skein. So I just cut it out and then I just dropped in the yarn like if it were a color change. So what I do is I pull up any slack and then I just snug it. And then I will put my finger where it's at and I look and see how it looks and make sure it's kind of tidied up really well. And you don't want to over cinch it or you'll get like a bump. You just want to cinch it to where it looks good. And you can work that stitch too. So if you have like a color change, you can work that stitch before you tie it off to line your colors up. So the first one, I just not like loose. No, I won't say loose, but just snug, but I don't pull too tight. The second one, I pull tighter. And I'm only doing 2 here. You could do 3 or whatever you feel comfortable. And then I leave some tail. And then we'll turn it the other way. So now we have the big long tube, the big long tube. All right. So we have our big long tube. And now what you want to do is pull one end into the other. Now this is the other thing. I've watched other tutorials where they'll go ahead and cinch this side already. I don't do that either. I don't do that either. And I think we have, let me see here. Let me see. We'll see how that goes. Monica G, do you have something to say? Because if we have something to say, I can help you. Adore the right word. I love you. OMG. All right. Well, hello, Monica G. Hello. But we'll see how Monica G does there. Okay. So what you want to do, this is the way I do it. You just grab the other end and you could do, like for this one, we could do either side. Doesn't matter. And then I pull it into the inside. Now you could cinch it already, but I just think it's easier to do it this way, guys. So I pull it into the inside. I get my little loose ends here. These were my, my beginning and my end. So this was my original, like when I first cast on, and then my ending. And I smooth this all out. And I always try to get these like to where my tails to where they're in the same spot, because then my knitting is all in a line, if that makes sense. And it's not all twisted up. So I can take my hand in here and I smooth it out. Okay. Just get all the bumps and the lumps and all that stuff out of there. And then I'm going to cinch. So now when I cinch, if I'm not careful, you're going to get what I call the pucker, and it's not going to be the way you like all smooth and cinched. So put your finger in there and then start cinching it up. And then just kind of get all the pucker out of there. But if you stick your finger in there and tighten it like that, and you get all the pucker out, I always say tuck the puck, but then you can make it so it's cinched up really nice. You can get this to the point with most yarn. Not all yarn will cinch up to where it's closed completely. Let me see if I can get that to the camera. See, this isn't too bad. It isn't too bad. But you still can stitch it closed if you have a little bit of a hole, but you've got to be careful. And I'll explain why in just a second. Okay, so we cinched that. Now we're going to cinch the outside, and I just go around and I do this and I smooth it out as I'm cinching. Again, smoothing it out because you don't want it all puckered. You want it to look nice, because I had somebody ask me about closing the tops. And see, I have a little bit of a hole, and you can just keep cinching. You don't want to break your yarn though. You got to be careful. Okay. So now, see, I've cinched it up to make it look like that. See that? See that? Okay. So now I'm going to tie it. And I have all these extra long tails. You could trim those off if you want. So now I'll do 2 ties, and you got to be careful. I have snapped yarn when I've done this. You want it snug, but don't break your yarn. And some yarns like Lion, Bran, Heartland, I have never snapped my yarn. I have on Karen Simply Soft a couple times. But you just want to be careful. So there's one tie, and you can see, look at how tight that is. See that? See how tight that is? So I don't even need to close this up any tighter. I'm going to do one more knot. And then now I'm going to trim some of my tail here because I do have too much. So I'm going to trim some of it off. So I did 2 knots on the outside. Now I'm going to put both of these tails on my needle, and I'm going to go through to the inside. So what I was saying is if I stitch this up more and then I was going to put a single palm on it, I might have a hard time getting my crochet hook through the center. So if you're putting a palm on this, you want it cinched up tight, but you want to be careful. If you cinch it up too tight, you might have a hard time getting, if you have palm elastics like that, you might have a hard time getting that through the center. Okay, so we're going to go through the center, and I feel on the inside, and I try to get in the center as well if I can. Now you could do it off center a little bit, and then that's going to give it even more like sturdiness. So here we go. And it's not completely closed in here. I could cinch that up a little more if I wanted to, but I'm not going to. And then I'm going to tie it a couple more times here. Just a couple more, just to be on the safe side. And then now I will hide my tails. So I'm going to just put my yarn tails back in my needle again. And then I'm going to go inside, in between the layers, as close to my knot as I can. And I usually pull them apart. So I'm pulling on the outside. So just so my tail isn't going to the, to the outside. With this kind of like color all being the same, and with the pattern, it wouldn't be the end of the world if I had stitched in a couple stitches on the outside, but I want to sandwich it in between the 2 layers to hide my tails. And then I just pull that through, and then I will trim off my extra here. Being careful not to cut my hat. And then I pull it apart, and then I give it a good stretch, good stretch, and kind of smooth it out. And then there's our top. See how nice that is? No waste yarn needed. See? Okay, so normally I would put like a palm on this, right? And you can see this is our hat. This is where we are. It looks nice. It's a nice hat. But I want to do the double palm. So what I do for this is, somebody asked how I figure this out. I just kind of wing it. I'm not going to lie. I've got my little buttons here, and I've ground the notches in them. So if you wonder where you get the ones that have the little notches, I ground, oh, it's blurry. I don't know if you can see, but I put the little notches. There we go. I put the little notches in myself, so they have something to hold on to. Let me find. Whoa. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to figure out, just by laying this here. All right, where I kind of want them as it's laying. And I like how that looks, right? Now, I don't know if it'll look great on my head, but I think it'll be okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to like kind of, you know, where I have, make sure my little elastics are pointed to about right there and right there. And we'll do one at a time. And I'm just going to go like this, stick my hand in and kind of mark like right about there is where I'm going to go. So this is how I do it. And then I just adjust it. So I've got where I want it to go in. I kind of have it eyeballed. You could use stitch markers, but I'm going to use just my fingers from the inside. And we are going to go right about here and we'll try it. And we'll see what it looks like. But see, since I use these buttons, and I'm going to use these crazy red palms because I think they'll be cute, and I haven't had anything else that I could really use them with. So we're going to, whoops, hold on, let me try that again. We're going to pull this to the inside. See that? We're going to pull the elastic through to the inside. I'll make sure I should get my other crochet hook because this one might not have a big enough. There we go. Okay. And you want to be careful not to snag it if you can help it, because I have done that. So I just pull it through to the inside. I'm going to use my buttons and I'm pulling up on it. Use my buttons to wrap it around. Now with the double palms, there's not as much bulk, but this still works. Like on my hat here, let me show you. See, this is how I do. This is the one that you guys see me wear all the time. See, that's how they are. And then they're on the hat like that. Okay, so we have one and it's on there. Make sure it's good. And then now we are just going to line up the second one. And you could use a little stitch marker for this if you wanted. If you're worried about it, you could use a stitch marker, like one of these guys, and put it where you think it'll go and where you think it'll look good. And I'm just going to kind of like eyeball it here, kind of across the hat and where I want it, like about right there, I think. And I'm just putting my hand in. We're going to go right there. We'll see what it looks like. We'll see how it looks. We can always adjust it because I have, there we go. We can always adjust it because I use those buttons. Okay. So here I'm just going to use my crochet hook. Like I said, this would probably work better with a bigger crochet hook. I always have my crochet hooks in the house though, because I crochet in the house. So I always have these little ones out here because they're great for fixing like problems with the machines. These hooks are better for that than my bigger ones, but okay. So I'm just going to make sure it's on the little notches. That notch isn't the best, but it'll stay on there. All right. So there we go. And then I can try this on and we'll see. Typically, like when I'm giving hats away, I try not to like put them on too much. Like I try them maybe once, the ones if I'm trying to figure out fit, but most of the time I like to give them like a fresh hat. You've been using your hands to make the hats handmade indeed. Oh, I love that. Okay, so let's try it on and we'll see what we think. All right, let me go back to here. Hold on. Nope, not there. Let me go there and then there. Okay, so we'll see what y'all think if these are in the right place. But that's how I do it. That's not, oh, I think it's cute, guys. And see, now this hat is $130. You could probably do a little bit more on that if you wanted a bigger brim. But I think, what do you guys think? It's a little crazy, huh? With the red palms. But that's it. That's that. So I like it. I think it's cute. It's not my color, but I think it's cute. Somebody would love that, right? I think somebody would really love that. Now, something I want to show you guys really quick. I just tried this on. Let me switch back to, hold on, I go back here. Okay, let me go back and then let me go here. Hold on. Sorry for all the bumping around. All right, so I just tried this hat on and it stretched it just a little bit. But see how it like, it doesn't get misshapen. Let me see if I have one of my other hats. Hold on. I don't know if I have any more. I probably bagged all of them. I don't have any more that are made. If I had one made with like the Big Twist Value or the Hirschner's Worsted 8, like, let me show you what yarn I'm talking about. Like if I was making a hat with this yarn, this yarn here, the Big Twist Value. I use this for like all my stuffed animals and stuff. I love it, love it, love it. And you can make hats out of it too, guys. But it has more of a memory. So what I mean by that is if I try this hat on, I'm telling you guys, for any of you that may want to sell hats too. If I try this hat on and then I take it off my head, it's going to be all like misshapen and you have to reshape it. Y'all know what I'm talking about? But if you use soft, like squishy yarn, you're not going to have it. It doesn't keep that memory. It's a little bit better about keeping its shape. So anyways, I think that's cute, guys. I think it's cute. You guys think it's cute? I think it's cute. I think let's put a tag on that really quick, so I don't forget to. All right. Oh, I'll just throw this out of the way. I'll pack that up later. Let me grab my tags. Here we go. And we'll put a cute little tag on it. Now, if you like a slouchier hat, then just add more rows. I'm not the biggest fan of the big, because like on my head, if they're too long, and other people, it won't be. I've seen people with like the big slouchy beanies and they look so absolutely adorable. But for me, it just looks like cone head. So I just go based on like the fit for my head, which maybe I shouldn't do, but that's what I do. So this is where I get my tags and my little rivets from. Artie Fox Studios Etsy shop. They have their own website now too. But we're going to put a tag on here. So, and the ones I use are like a micro suede. They're not real leather. Okay. And I usually get these wrong. Every time I put them on, I put them on too loose, and you want them kind of snug. Otherwise they wrinkle up when you put on the hat. So there we be. Let me get them in here. I think that's all right. I'm a little off center though. Hold on. Hold on. I always say that. Hold on. Like, what are you guys going to hold on to? It's kind of silly, huh? All right, let's see if we have any questions. Lisa says, looks great. Good job. Does anybody have any questions about anything we did? I don't know. Watching from Belgium. Elaine, hello to you. How are you doing? Okay. All right. Sometimes I have a hard time getting these started, not going to lie. And they're just twist-ons. I used to have ones that snapped. I did like those, but I love these hearts, guys. I love the hearts. Great on a redhead. Yes, I agree, Lisa. Redhead, it would look great. Like my daughter has red hair. She's not a natural redhead though. I'm going to get in trouble for saying that, but she's not. Okay. So there we go. We got our little guy on there. There's our little, there we go. Isn't it cute? It's so cute. Yeah, I think that turned out really nice. All right. So, okay. Let's see. Hello, Deborah in Nashville, Tennessee. What time is it, guys? I don't even know. 3:57. Can we crank out another one? I don't know. I think I'm going to. The internet has been sketchy. Did you tell where you got your buttons? I did, actually. Oh, the buttons. Like on the inside, these buttons, these come from Amazon, and then I put the little grind notches on them. I grind notches on them on the sides so that the palms actually snap onto them like that. So the buttons come from Amazon. I've got a link to them. They used to only be like $4.50 for like 150, and now they're like 7 something. But if you hop on hoopandhome.com, there's a little supply tab. I have an Amazon affiliate shop. Okay, let's bring the let's do a scrap hat. We're gonna do a scrap hat. I'm gonna do one really quick here. We're gonna crank one out. I don't know that we'll finish out the tube when I'm done. Maybe we will. We'll see how long it takes me. How did the gifts to... Oh, you know what, Kim, somebody asked about that. I have a sad story about that. Actually, it's not that sad. It's actually probably a happy story. So I got the hat done that when I was live and all of that. We got the bag together, and he had been there every single night when the kids had driver's training. And then they went that night, and he hasn't been there since. They have one more drive on Tuesday, and we'll see if he's there. But I think somebody complained about him being there because there was a car parked like with their lights on facing where he normally would have been, and it was like back in an alcove in a shopping center kind of place. So now we have all this stuff. We even got like I even went and bought Chick-fil-A, like a gift card, and Arby's because they were right by where this place was, and I thought, well, at least he could get something to eat. But then now what's really kind of funny and ironic is now, so we have all this stuff that we got, and I don't like, I'm vegan. I don't eat Chick-fil-A or Arby's, but so anyways, now, yeah, he hasn't been there. So they didn't get a chance to give it to him. So we put the thing together, and which hopefully he found a place, we're hoping, but I think he might have got, like, they told him to move on. I think that's probably what happened, since it was kids going to this driving school and there was a homeless man. I don't know. So I've been thinking about him, and I hope he found a place to be that's safe and warm. That's what I'm hoping. Because it's not even where he was, is not even close to like where the rescue mission or the shelters are. It's pretty far away. So let's hope he found a place. So I still have all the stuff, and we still have the bag, and we've been taking it with us every time we go. All right, guys. So what I'm going to do is, I don't know how much I have of all of this. Let's see. That is a good idea. So you don't have to, yeah, so you don't sew the buttons on. That way, if somebody wants to take the palm off, myself included, so that you can launder the hat, you can. Or if you want to take it off because you want to have like you wear a hoodie and then, whatever, you can do that. It makes it removable. And since I'm donating all these hats, I kind of like, some people might not like the pom-poms, and they can just pop them off and it's no big deal. That's why I do it that way. But I think they're cute, so that's why I leave them on. And I have to tell you, when I took the last bag of hats to the mission that's close to us, or the closest mission to us, like the rescue mission, there was a gentleman there that I had my double palm hat on. I had mine on, and he's like, "Do you have one with the double puffs?" I think he said. And I said, "No, I didn't have any in there." So I'm going to start doing this, where I make, I'll make some that are more, maybe try to make some that are non-gender specific with the puff balls, because he wanted one so bad and I didn't have. I was half tempted to take some of the the palms off and make him one right there, but we'll have to do that. Okay, so let's see. I made one hat and I thought it looked like poop on my head. Thanks for sharing the information about different yarns having memory. Yes, they do. If they're not soft yarn, they'll have more memory and they'll get a little misshapen. And that's okay for some things. Even, like, I will tell you, this is I love this yarn, and this has a tendency to get a little out of shape. This yarn doesn't like bounce back as well. I love this pattern, but I talked about this in the live before. It doesn't do real well on the machines. My machines don't like it. But that's one of the like first pattern ones I did. Okay, so I think I'm gonna start with this brown. I'm just gonna grab off this pile, and I'll do, I don't know. I think we'll see how much I have here when I get going. And then we'll just do a scrap hat, guys. We'll see how it goes. Mom, it's hard time for my family. Ellen, my mother-in-law is dying. Oh, Ellen, I am so sorry. Yeah, that's such a tough thing. My heart is with you, and I'll be praying for your family. I lost my mother about it's been a year and a half. This is my second Christmas without her. And I took care of her. I had to move away, and like I took care of her. I moved to her house in Indiana, and took care of her for the last 3 months of her life while she was on hospice, because she was bedbound. And I know how hard it is. It's hard to lose someone that you love. So I'm so sorry for that. Prayers for your family. So if you're praying, people, guys, pray for Ellen and her family. All right. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and cast on with this brown color. Whoopee. Let me make sure front, behind, and front, behind. Okay, guys. I want to make sure it was right. I still mess up my cast on sometimes, on the occasion. So like I said, I got that silicone lubricant. I am going to have my husband tear apart the one Centro, because he does the same thing where it's a little clunky, and we'll see how it goes. I don't know. It might be a mistake if we do that, but well, thank you for being here too, Ellen. We appreciate you. Oh, I have to tell you, this brown yarn cranked really hard the other day too. You'll hear it. Is the Hardell mini cordless rotary tool on your website? How you put the notches on the buttons, I assume. JP, I have the link to the Hardell tool, and I'll show you guys what JP's talking about. This is a little tool. I have a video. I have a tutorial video on YouTube on how I do it. This is the tool I use. It's like rechargeable, USB rechargeable, and there's a little like diamond bit in there that I use. And I think it's actually getting kind of not as good. I might have to get a replacement because I've made so many of them. But that's what I use. And I think ladies and gentlemen, I think you can get this in pink. And if I should have probably got a pink one, but I think the orange one was cheaper, so I got that one. Let's see. Ellen says, thanks, Cheri. My mother-in-law lives also with us. She's 95. Oh, wow. 95. I hope, you know what? I hope I can live to be 95. That's amazing. That's amazing. But I know if she's living with you, that's so tough. Yeah. It's no different than what I did. And you can't escape what's going on, really. So that's how my whole thing started, guys. That's how I started on TikTok, and I was doing hand embroidery, and it was when I was taking care of my mom, and I did little videos every day, and I looked forward to doing those in the time to do the hand embroidery. That's why Hoop and Home, that's how this whole thing started, was with the hand embroidery that I was doing. And then it kind of evolved with all of this. But it was because of dealing with my mother. Let's see. Miss Lady Lopez, I attached your links, but they must be deleted. Oh, I attached your links. Huh. Blocked, I'm assuming. Oh, I don't know. I'm sorry for that. I don't know why they're not working. I don't know. Okay, so I think I have yarn barf. Hold on. I think we'll do, let me see how much. I should have wound these ahead of time. You guys, I have a yarn winder, and I need to use it more often. I say that every time, don't I? I don't know why this brown is so, like, it's cranking, like, hard. This is where other colors, guys, will crank. Like, this is Karen's Simply Soft. I don't want it on the ground. It's going on the ground. And it's just a different color. I think I'll do like 10. I think I can get 10. I don't know. Maybe I'll do 10 rows of this. Which isn't a lot. We'll see what this looks like. It might not be too cute. I don't know. I don't want to crank too much of this brown because it's like really hard. Yeah. Okay. We're going to change colors right now. So I'm going to cut a tail, drop in my tail. That's a very long tail. You don't need that long of a tail. So I'll save this and we can do another scrap hat. I got a little bit more still here, but I don't really want to crank any more of that brown. Okay. So now let's do dark blue. Let's do this dark blue. I got to figure out where my center pole is coming from and try not to get it all tangled here. Hold on. Okay, let me drop that down below. Hold on, and we'll drop in our next color. Maybe we'll do like 8 of this color. All right, so now I just drop my color in, my blue, right beside my brown. This is my 48 pin, my number 1 pin. And then I'm going to I'm going to hold on to these, snap it into my my tension guide, and I hold the yarn in my hand, pull through, grab just those 2 tails, trying not to grab my first tail. And I'm just going to hang on to it tightly while I crank just a couple needles. Oh, try not to get that big. Hold on. And now I think we'll do 8. So we'll go to 18. And we'll go look at I'm going to trim this because I've got one super long tail and one not so long tail. So I'll go a few rows and then I'll tie it. All right, and I'll go ahead and tie this here. And then snug it up, and we're just going to half tie it. There we go. So we'll go to 18. All right, let's see. Only mods can use post links. That link did not want to post. It misses. Oh, okay. Gotcha. It's a YouTube thing. Yeah, probably so that you can't to prevent spammers, probably. All right. It is tangled up. Next time I will wind my yarn because I got a knot here, guys. See, that happens. It just wants to stick to itself. And I've noticed that for me, I've been having more and more of that. All right. Okay, so we're going to go to 18. Let me make sure I didn't drop a... No, I guess we're all right. It looked funny there. Well, I think that was 18. See, this is the other thing I've noticed. My counter has been a little flaky where it gets in between. I don't know if y'all can see that. You can't see it. It gets like stuck in between. Okay, so we're at 18. It almost looks like 19, but I know it's 18. All right, we're going to drop that one in. Move that out. Let's do orange next. Let's do some orange. Let's do orange. Okay. Ooh, it's coming out of both ends here. I got a mess, guys. Hopefully it'll work. Okay, so we'll drop this in. So I grab just those two tails. I pop it in the tensioner, and then we'll hold on to it. And I think, I don't know how many rows I want to do of the orange. I don't know. I think I'll go a little while. I don't know how much I have down there. I like orange. Yes, the dry, just like Lisa said, the weather. Yes, for things sticking together, once it gets dry and the heat's running, that it just happens. I see that I do this all the time, guys. My coffee is closed and I'm trying to drink it. All right. So let's go a few more and then I'll tie that. All right, we'll do this here. Snug this up. Snug that up. I don't know how much I have. Let's just keep going. I think I'll do the gold. Oh no, I'll do some blue. Should I do blue next or gold next? I think I'll do, maybe I'll do gold next. I'm going to go to 30, so I'll stop here, I think. Let's see what this looks like. I still have quite a bit of orange left, but we'll stop there. Ugh. Move that out of the way. Okay, let's do gold. Now I have this gold. I think this, I'm not sure that this is, I don't think this is Karen Simply Soft. I think this is Yarn Bee Soft Secret. That's what I think this is. Because it looks more, what do I want to say? Like spun more. Like, maybe not though. Yeah, I think this is Yarn Bee Soft Secret. See, I know this is Karen Simply Soft. It's the same kind of like, spiral spun. I don't know what this is called. But this is a little bit bigger. I think that this might be the Yarn Bee Soft Secret. But it's very similar to the Karen Simply Soft. Okay, so we're going to drop that in. Grab our tails. Now this goes through like really, really smoothly. Just finished my headband. Second project today. Not really my day today. I had to start the headband. Oh, over again twice. Nikita, I am so sorry. I'm so sorry. I know that's tough. It gets frustrating. Sometimes I have to do one of two things when I have to start over or redo something. Because I had to do that when I made the mittens. When I did the pattern review, I made one thumb and I miscounted because I didn't change my counter. And so I had to, I either do one of two things. I either get up and walk away for a while and take a break, or I just bull through it and I just keep going until I'm done. I guess that's the only thing you can do. Either you take a break or you, but a lot of times I try to not, like, if I get too frustrated, I have a tendency to then keep messing up things. I don't know. Maybe that's just me. All right. I don't know how many I want to do of the golds. I don't know. Let's see. I don't No, let's see. Let me see the, maybe I don't do too many. Maybe I'll do just 2 more. I'm going to do just 2 more. I have no idea what this is going to look like, guys. This goes through like it's super crinkable. Yeah, this has got to be, that's the Yarn Bee Soft Secret, guys. It is super crankable. All right, so now what are we on? We're on 30 what? I think 7 or 8. We're going to do this one now. Let me see. Is this center pull? I don't know. When it starts to become like a bally mess, I don't know what it is. So let's see. I think we'll try it here. I'm going to throw it down in my tub, and we shall go with this blue. And you have to be careful when you start getting all these different tails. It's really easy to grab the wrong ones. It's happened to me quite a few times. Okay, so let's see. I'm almost at 40. So maybe I'll do. I don't know how many to do. 42 maybe? Maybe I'll just do a little one. I almost feel like I want to go back to the dark navy. So maybe I'm just going to do a little one here of this color. So let me just I'm going to go back to the dark navy and see how many more rows we can get out of that. This is kind of fun to just mess around and see, like, with the scraps, like how it's going to look. I don't know. All right, so let's go back here. Let me make my tail not as long so I have more of it to use. There we go. Okay. All right, so I don't drop. Oh, you know what? I didn't tie. Here, hold on. I didn't tie this one at all, so I want to do that. So right now I forgot to half tie this, so let me do that. I'm going to leave those for a minute. I'm coming back with this navy, and I got a mess. Maybe I shouldn't have come back with the navy. There we go. See, when it gets to the last little bits, it wants to just tangle up. So I'm trying to unknot it in the background. Let's see here. Get rid of all of my yarn barf and not have knots in it. See how it just kind of tangles up on itself? So you have to really be careful. This is where if you were using like, you know, a drill attachment, you just have to be really careful because it can knot up on you pretty quickly. There we go. But like I said, if I would have wound it all ahead of time, but sometimes I use my winder and I still get tangles, guys. All right, there we go. Okay, so let's do a few more. I think, I don't know how many I can get out of here. So I think I'm just going to do one more of this dark. Let me do this. Let me tie this off. I'm going to have to tie all these afterwards, which I don't always love. All right. And then I think I'm going to go to the lighter blue, and then we'll go, I have a black that I think I'll do the rest of it with if I have enough. Hopefully I do. Let's do this one. So we're on, all right, we're going to use this lighter blue here. So, okay, let's see here. The gold seems to be running through really, yeah, the gold it was really, really smooth. That's Yarn Bee Soft Secret. It does really. Yeah, Nikita said she walked away and had some dinner. I don't blame you. Yes, they do. The Caron Simply Soft and the Yarn Bee go really well together. Just like Big Twist Shine goes with Caron Simply Soft and that together. Do you tie your golf in blue? Do I tie? Hello, JD Parker Robinson. She asked, do I tie the gold and blue? Did I not do that? Yeah, I don't knot it. I just like half tie it. Hello, Cheryl in New York. Cheri, I just thought about something. To those complaining about the handmade issue, are they not using knitting needles? Sorry to be bringing that up. It's annoying to me though. You know what, the PJ Mom, it is annoying to me too, because this is the thing. Like I said, I think the misinformation is why I can't fully monetize on Facebook. It could be the religious thing, but I'm not overtly talking about Christianity or prayer or anything like that. I mean, I just mention it. That's the only thing. I haven't done anything else that's against their policy. I do know lots of people have told me over on Facebook that they turned in my channel because my stuff's not handmade. And when I go back into the policy violations, it doesn't tell me what the policy violation is. It just says that I'm not abiding by them. And I think one of the things is misinformation. And I don't know. And if they think I'm trying to be clickbaity because of like starting some controversy, I can't talk. Maybe, I don't know. It just drives me nuts because I did pin. You guys all have to go to Instagram. I should read it. I can't. If my computer was in here, I'd read it to you. But there was someone on my Instagram account that said something like, for all of you who think you can't call it handmade unless I went out and I, you know, like gave birth to my own sheep and then like knitted my knitting needle, or like used wood to whittle my own knitting needles, and like at what level, if you're not using a tool, is something handmade. It's just what we think of. Like I understand like I understand people getting upset only from the perspective that they feel like I'm trying to fool somebody. But see, I don't look at it like they do, because I don't come from a fiber arts background. I come from a crafting background. And I have lots, as crafters, you go to like Hobby Lobby or you go to Joanne or Michael's and you buy your components, right? They're ready-made components a lot of times, and you put them together. And to me, and you can make a handmade craft. You buy fabric that's already made, or you buy dried flowers and you put them on a wreath, and you use components and you put them together to make a finished goods. And it's a handmade good. Nobody think like you make a craft and you say that I made this craft, but you use tools to do it, or you bought pre-made things to do it. Nobody's going to bat an eye. So like when I think about this, I think about, the machine made the tube. It doesn't make the hat. It just is a tool for me to make my fabric. This is my fabric that if I went to the store and bought fabric and even hand sewed something together, I would still call that handmade. That's what we're doing. We're just, instead of buying our fabric, we're making our fabric. I don't know. I don't know. But it's funny, the PJ Mommy, I think a lot of the people that get their panties in a bunch about it, some of them are crocheters or knitters, but a lot of them have moms or whatever, or sisters or friends that do it. And they get all, and they're like sticking up for them. Does that make sense? Or it's a lot of dudes. Like I have lots and lots of guys that are very mean with their comments. And not to say there are men who can crochet and knit and whatever, but most of them are not. Yeah. And what they're hurting, like the thing is, by those people like turning me in, like I told one lady who specifically on YouTube the other day, she turned me in. She sent me a message and she's like, I turned your channel in because how can you have the audacity to call what you're doing handmade? And I sent her back a message and I said, this is the thing. If you get me in trouble, or my channel in trouble, and they demonetize me in some way because you feel like I'm wronging you, I'm trying to help other people, and it's going to help me buy yarn. People being able to watch these videos is going to help me be able to continue to keep funding what I'm doing and being able to make content and all the things. And so then they kind of softened their tone a little bit, but they still were like, it's, don't worry about it because YouTube doesn't do anything if I turn you in anyways. But I'm still standing by the fact that what you're doing is not handmade and you shouldn't be allowed to put those buttons on your hats, whatever. So anyway, Those people are just wanting to make, that's it, Lisa. It wouldn't matter. It wouldn't matter what the topic is. And that's what my kids are like, you just need to get over it, Mom. Don't let it bother you. And it's so funny because they're like, it doesn't, because they're used to seeing that kind of stuff on the internet. So they're more, what I want to say, desensitized to the nasty than I am, I guess. And it would be different too if I was like used to it, like that I've been on for a long time, and this is just, and I will get desensitized to it at some point, I think. But a lot of this is all new to me, so I'm learning as I go. But I do think you're right, Lisa. I do think people, they're just going to these same people are just going to be, they're going to do that no matter what the topic is. Sue says, it's handmade. My arm is tired and I had to rip out a hat and start over. The yarn is splitting and I made the daggum thing. No, I agree. Just like Nikita. Yeah, here, Nikita said, what is the meaning of making handmade? Made by a person using hands or tools, not by a machine. Well, yeah. What is the meaning of, let's see, where'd you go? Oh no, what is the meaning of the word handmade? Hand process. Exactly. How sad must be to report someone and tell them what they did. It just screams, I want attention. And I think that's it, Froggy Knits. I think a lot of these people just, they need love. Like I want them to just go get a machine and try making something because they might be happier, you know? But I think a lot of times, I don't know what it is that's striking the nerve for them to get so angry and lash out, because it's obviously something else. Like there's something else that makes them so upset. Hello, Megan from Kentucky. I have the machine as well and love making hats. Makes it easier to use. Absolutely. Yes, it's definitely a hand process. PJ Mommy says, keyboard warriors, if YouTube doesn't do anything about it, then why report it? What do they get out of that? I agree. That was kind of my point with her, but I don't know if it was a her. I shouldn't say her because I have no idea. They're jealous because they can't do it. Maybe that's it, Lisa. I don't know. Debbie Myers, Debbie, hi. Cheri, 2 days in a row. Wow, happy dance. Yay! All right, let's go to, I could probably switch already, but I think I'm going to go to 60. How much do I have? I think I'm going to go to 65 if I have enough. And then I'll switch to my black. I wonder if I have enough. I don't know. Do you think? See, I wish my scale is broken, guys. I need to like weigh this. I do have another scale. What time is it? 4:26. Oh no. All right. I'll just go. We'll just see how it is. I can add another at the end of the other side if I need to. All right. We're going to see how it goes. 2, 3. This is going really well too. 4, and then this will be our last one. I'll switch out. I don't know if I have enough of that black to finish out. I want to do 130 rows. We shall see. I think there's enough in there to do 65. So I've got 65 right now. So we'll see. And then this will be our brim color. So I think it'll be okay. I think it'll look all right. I think. We'll find out. We shall find out. Now I have all these ties that I have to get out of the way. Let me not have so much of a tail, so I saved some of my yarn. There we go. Let me grab that. There we go. Okay. Alrighty, ready. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Oh, I have to show you guys. I want to show you the other shirt that I got too. I'll probably from the spread shop store that I have. Hold on, let me do a couple of these and I'll show you. So I brought it out here with me. I tried them on really quick. They came. So I've got the sweatshirt. And this is like a large women's size, because I like stuff that's roomy. Let me do one more here. I'm going to tie this. I think this is going to look all right. I hope. My tail is almost too short, guys. Okay, so this is in the shop too, in the store. I think it's like if you click the store tab on YouTube. All right, this is the other one I got. Here, hold on. Let me do this. I want to show this because I want to tell you about size. Hold on. Because I wear, like I used to wear, When I lost on my weight, I wore mediums. Mediums are starting to get a little snug on me. So I bought one that's like, this is a medium women's fit, so it's snugger. And see, it looks pretty big. But then when I put it on, I'll wear it on Thursday. I want to see if I can get like a tight black, like long sleeve, like turtleneck or something to wear underneath it. But it says knit happens, if you can see that. It smells like, I don't know, like printed stuff. But anyways, if you don't like tight fit stuff, this is like that curvy fit, and it's like a little snug in the chest area. I wanted to mention this for anybody who's looking at buying any of these things off my store. I would size, like, a large would normally be a little loose on me. This was a little snug, not around my belly so much, but around my boobs, and I don't have like big boobs. But anyways, I think an extra large I would actually like better. Hold on. So I think if you want the women's, like any of the t-shirts that say women's fit on them, they might be a little smaller, and I would size up. That's what I would tell you. So anyways, I think it's cute though. Knit happens. I think it's cute. I think it's cute. And you get sweatshirts too in that. But I wanted to mention that in case anybody's thinking about buying them. I would size up on the women's. Now, if it's unisex, I haven't tried those yet. We'll have to see. Okay. The hat is really starting to look pretty neat, Anna says. Connie says same thing. Hat's looking pretty neat. I think it is too, guys. We'll have to see what it looks like when I'm done. Let's see here. There was a lady at a craft fair looking at someone's knitted hat and asked her if she did it the good old fashioned way or if she used one of those circular cheating machines. I was thinking to myself, what difference does it make? She made it either way. Agree. Twyla. Agree. Yeah. I think though, I don't sell any of my stuff, but if I was going to do a craft fair, I would take my machine. And I would make hats while I'm there. You wouldn't necessarily have to make them to sell while you're there, but I think it would draw a lot of attention to what you're doing. I wouldn't hide the fact that you're using the machine at all, but you don't feel like obligated that you have to tell people. But if I was there, I would do that because that would single you out. And I think it would draw attention to like what you're doing. So for any of you out there who are selling, and doing craft fairs, take your machine and make some hats. Well, I think people would be super interested in watching you. I love the color of the t-shirt. Usually after washing, they shrink some as well. So if it's tight now, yes, maybe tighter after washing. We'll have to see, Lisa. The large might be too small on me. If it is, what I might do, I have the ability to like have what's available. I might change the fit on those. Not to tell you all not to buy them, but I'm just saying that I can pick different shirts. I just have to try them. So I might order some more and see. I like a shirt that says, tuck the puck. Kathy, you know what? I'll have to do one. I'll have to design it. I don't know what I should put. Maybe just black and white and it says tuck the puck on it. We'll have to do those. That'll be my next design, Kathy. All right, let me roll this. Oh, this is another thing I want to talk about, guys. I don't know if y'all can see this. Can you see, like, hold on, let me do this so y'all can see instead of watching me. See how, like, I can get my finger underneath there. And this is my wood board, right, guys? We're at like 77. If this is how I gauge like sizing a lot of times. If I get to about 75, if my tube isn't close to touching the table, I know I need to add more rows for a better fit. So if it's like up here and we're at 75 rows, then I know I've got to add like 10 or 15 rows to get a good adult size hat. So if I'm using a yarn that I haven't used before, that's kind of like my gauge. I don't know if that's helpful for some of you, but I know I've had questions about length and all of that. And when it's on the machine, it's hard to be able to see, but that's just what I've found is I want to be about 75 rows. I want to be touching or close to touching my wood board if I'm going to do 130 rows. And that's a beanie that's not super slouchy. So if you want it to be slouchier and it's for like somebody with a really big head, I would add more rows, if that makes sense. I'm wanting to start selling the hats but I'm nervous on being Megan, don't be nervous. I think when you make anything, and you're going to put it out there to people, it's a little bit, some people don't care and they're super confident in themselves and they don't care. And they don't ever have that feeling. I know what that feels like, because it feels like you're putting a piece of you and you're afraid people are going to be like, ew, why are you selling that? Or, ew, who do you think you are to sell those? Or blah, blah, blah. I say, just do it. Just do it. Just do it. Just do it. How, in what way are you wanting to sell them? Are you wanting to do like craft shows? Are you wanting to sell them online? I would say the worst thing that could happen is somebody says they don't want to buy it, and you're not gonna, nobody's dying when that happens. But for the most of the time, I think you'll find that people will be like, whoa, these are nice, I love these. And that's what when I've, like, even when I took the hats to church yesterday to donate, a lot of the people in my church didn't even know that I do this, guys. They don't have any clue that I do this, and they were like, wow, these are amazing. I think people don't, they're like, how did you do this? And I'm like, I use a circular knitting machine. And they're like, wow, these are so great, the quality of them are so great. I don't think you have to hesitate. I think the machines make good hats, guys. They make good hats. If you want to sell them, sell them. I'll be, Megan, if you're not in the group, get in the group and I'll be your biggest cheerleader. All right. And you can show us the hats and we'll tell you, we'll be totally honest. Okay. And we'll cheer you on, because if you want to sell them, I want to support you in that. And let's see. Stacy says people don't hesitate to buy monogrammed items or machine embroidered items. Ran a professional monogramming machine for 10 years. It's the same thing. Yes. Yes. Stacy is so right. And there is, the thing is, you all know they have these machines. You can take, you could take the same yarn. I could take the same yarn. We make a tube. It's not going to be the same tube. Everybody says, you can make the same hats. We all are going to do our tension a little bit different. Our machines are a little bit different. As you know, every skein of yarn is a little bit different. So they're still pretty unique, guys. Don't underestimate, like the fact that this is pretty special still. It doesn't have to be like knitting needles for it to be special. This is still special. You're putting a lot of effort into it. Even if you're using the driller thing, which I tell you not to, but because it'll burn up your machine, but in secret, I do it all the time. It's still special. And if you want to sell them, you will find people who will buy them. I do not doubt that one bit. And so Megan, just have snappy comebacks ready. Just remember, it's a tool like a sewing machine or knitting needles. Yes. Megan says, I'm wanting to start selling them online on Etsy at first, and then work my way up to selling them in craft shows. Yes. Okay. So Megan, I have a tip for you. I used to sell on Etsy. I used to sell wood signs on Etsy. Get good photos. Your photos are going to be that, and like your tags and like your SEO for Etsy, but make sure you have like good photos and you will do great with it. You want to, but the photos are so important, because a lot of times people will want to sell on Etsy, and it's a lot harder on Etsy than it used to be, but it's still doable. But you have to look into, and I'm not an Etsy expert anymore because Etsy's changed since I used to sell on there, but your photos are so important. So take photos, get in the group, we'll show us your photos, and then we'll tell you, we'll give you some feedback, or you can send them to me personally. I'll tell you what I think, even though I don't know, like I'll tell you if I'd buy it or not. We'll help you. We'll help you. People often sit in the front row for $1. If we're cheap, you wouldn't even hear most of the people. Just ignore. Yes, that's true. Yep. I think of it as it's just a different. That's it. Negro. There you go. Yes, that is exactly it. Just a different technique. That is exactly it. Just a different technique. Because the thing is, it's like if you crochet, it looks different than if you knit. Obviously the crochet stitch is different than the knit stitch. It does not look the same. It's just a different tool. If I were hand looming, having to hand loom, that's how I started with that first. And I'm hand looming. That's another technique, right? Hola, Uzi. Is it Uzi? Is it Uzi? I don't know. Hola to you. Thank you for being here. All right, so we're going to go. Hopefully I have enough to get to my 130. A lot of times if you're going to do like stripes like this, I'm doing a dark color behind, so you might see that through. Maybe I'll I'm kind of going over here too, guys. And the PJ Mommy, don't feel like, if you have things going on, don't feel like you have to stay for me. I appreciate you doing that, but don't feel like you have to, because I'm kind of going long. But what I was going to say is, when I get this all done, since the black is going to be the inside, you might see a little bit of that as you wear it through the hat. I don't mind it. Some people don't like that. So you could do lighter colors underneath, or you try to match your row colors. But since I'm doing it as a scrap hat, I didn't want to do that. Plus, I generally don't do that. I usually do like stripes and then do a different color for the inside. Thank you, the PJ Mommy. But don't ever feel like you have to stay because I'm long-winded. All right, let's see here. Just finished Lovey. I use Center 22 for the ears and Beanie for the bunny. Oh, May, I'd love to see it. If you're not in the CranKnit community group, make sure you get in there. If you're not in there, I'd love to see it. I'd love you to post it. All right. We're doing pretty good. I think we're going to make it. Debbie says, I did a craft fair. Ow, I hit my elbow. Sorry. I hit it hard on my thing here. This month, first one was terrible, but second fair was great. Don't be disheartened if it doesn't go well. First time ever at a fair. They didn't, yeah, different. Just be brave and go for it. Absolutely. The other thing you want to think about too is, if you're going to have an Etsy shop, it'd be good to have start on Etsy and then do an in-person, and then you can market your Etsy shop too. So you could, it's a way for you to say, I have a shop online as well. So think about your craft fair as being a marketing like event too for your Etsy shop to grow that. So if the people aren't buying right there, maybe have something like, business cards, a lot of times people will throw them away, but something kind of cute, like a little card or something that you can hand out, and say, even if they're not, if they look, you could say, oh, I have an Etsy shop. So, if you didn't want to get something today, you could, check that out later, whatever. It's another way for you to market. Oh, Nikita says, if you ever need help, PJ Mommy, just give a shout. I appreciate that, Nikita86. Rock star. There are people that say hand looming is cheating. They need to get a life. Kim, I agree. People can complain about everything, as I've found out. You guys, I have to say, do you guys all like this setup? It's so much nicer for me to be able to, I feel like I can interact with all of you so much better. Like StreamYard for the win, right? All right, so let me pull this up a little more. I wish I would have started this sooner. I do know that like my mother-in-law watched it and she said that it was a little, like, it distorted my face and the video wasn't as good a quality, but I think it's pretty good, isn't it? It's almost Christmas. It is. Connie says she likes it. Yes, Debbie says yes, it's better this way. I agree so much. PJ Mommy says it's great, and I love just being able to tap on these. Nikita says love it. Kathy Ferguson, love this format. Yes. And then the PJ Mommy says it's what all my crafty friends use. Awesome. I love that. Lisa says the new setup is great. It's really helpful seeing what you are doing from your point of view rather than backwards. Yes. Yeah, because then you guys get you get more out of that, Anna says, love the fab setup. Okay, guys, so I have to tell you, as I was watching, because StreamYard has a, like the owners do a live every Sunday night. So I got on last night because I had some questions. And I was able to ask them specifically, which is so cool. So shout out to StreamYard for being so awesome. But they have a giveaway tool. So I've got, I'm going to do some fun stuff, guys. And I can, like, when we're live, I have some ideas. And I think we probably won't start it till after Christmas, but I think we're going to do some giveaway stuff and we're going to be able to do it live. So I just have to play around with it. So just know that we're going to do some fun things to come. Probably on either the Mondays or the Thursdays. So yeah, I got some stuff in the works because I think it's going to work out really well with this new software. So I think it'll be great. Yes. Yeah. Even though I should be looking over here, I'm reading the comments, but still, it's still better, I think. Megan says, I've made Christmas hat already. That's so cool. I have to bust out. I did Santa hats last year for my husband and I'll have to pull those out. Different outcome if it is switched. Mrs. Lady Lopez, I've noticed the toggle button on the side. Where do you have it positioned? Is there a different outcome? Oh, for yes, on the machine, right? There's the T is for tube, like we're doing now, just a tube, and the P is for really different. No, I'm just kidding. I was going to say something really kind of snarky, but the P is for panels, and that's what and I think that's what you're talking about, right? So like a panel would just be like, this is the sweater that I made, and each of these I did 4 panels. So let me show you here. So like, see how this is mattress stitched together. If I go all the way to the neck, hold on, let me turn it inside out so you can see. This was just one big long panel. Hold on, like one big long panel. So it's just a single layer panel. So from here to here, all the way to the neck, like all the way down. Does that make sense? So you can do panels, and then you can hook your panels together to do things like sweaters like this. This was a panel over here. Sorry for the blurry. Here's the neck. So one panel here, one panel here. And then I did tubes for the sleeves. But if I was going to do it again, and then I just like connect the panels down the side. So I did 4 panels, 2 tubes, and made a sweater here like this. Here, let me show it this way. So here, I'll hold it up. See, like that? See, tubes, 2 panels on the front, 2 panels on the back. So that's what you can do for with the panel setting. You can make, pieces of knitted fabric, and then you can hook the panels together to make different things. So if you're new and you ever get to where your machine won't go spin all the way around, that's the first thing you want to look is make sure that it's on. If you're wanting to make a hat, make sure that it's on the T for tube, or and not the panel. Or if it gets like stuck in the middle, that's happened to me before. You are so welcome. So PJ Mommy said she did Santa hats on the loom a couple years ago, and your wrists were crying. Yeah. And that's the thing. I know I've been working on my blanket more, knitting, and my hands get to hurting from that more than this, for sure. Thank you, Caitlin. JP asked, do you use knitting needles and knit that way as well? I do, but the only thing I've knitted a scarf and blankets, JP. And something I haven't done, which I think you could do, is you could take the tube. I haven't got this brave yet. And I use circular knitting needles for when I make my blankets. And I could, with waste yarn, cast off, and then I could, put my needles on, and then I could continue to knit. And I'm just not that skilled yet. I'm still just practicing. I mean, I've made blankets, and I can knit and purl, whatever, like the knit stitch or the garter stitch and the purl stitch. But I haven't gotten too brave. Like, I've not knitted a hat. I've only done a blanket and scarf, couple blankets and the scarf. Working on another blanket now. But you could also take the panels with waste yarn and then use those and knit or crochet off of those if you wanted to. So there's lots of possibilities. It doesn't, I get the question all the time, does this just make hats? Well, no, you can do lots of things with these knitting machines. Just like technically, if you only had the 48, you could do panels and make a tube off those panels. So you could do a panel and then, mattress stitch it up, and then you have a tube. So you wouldn't have to necessarily have the 22 machine to start, but it's way easier if you want to make smaller tubes to just have a smaller machine. Nikita said never did panels before. It's a little bit of a learning curve. It took me a little bit to figure it out, and I haven't really done a whole lot since I made that sweater, which was a while ago. JP says I'm learning to knit with needles as well, because the knitting machine bug so far as I made a beard A beard for your microphone. I love that. I love that, JP. All right. Let's see. I wish I was brave. I want to knit, but I got too overwhelmed when I first tried. Then I found your channel and have been here ever since. I understand. I will tell you, I didn't knit or really crochet when with the machines in the beginning. I didn't knit at all, and I could only crochet like like a chain. That's all I could do. And then since I've had the machines, I've taught myself how to knit and crochet. I will tell you, what was it? Something sheep is where I learned how to knit. Oh, I wish I could remember the name of it. If I remember, I'll have to post it. But that was, I made a scarf that she had. It's sheep and something. Do you know the PJ Mommy? I don't. Sheep something. I can't think of what the channel is on YouTube, but I love her videos, and that's how I finally clicked. I watched a ton and I couldn't figure it out. My daughter that made crocheted the sweater for Sheep and Stitch. That's it. Yes. Go check her out. She has some really cool videos. There was a scarf that I did of hers, and that's the first thing I ever made, and it went really well, actually. And her technique and teaching is I think it's easy to pick up. So, or at least it was for me. But my daughter who crochets tried to teach me, and I got frustrated, and we just kind of gave up because I wasn't getting it. It took me a while. But the machines helped me to not be as intimidated, I have to say. Okay, so this is our last bit here. Let's see, where are we at? There we go. Okay, all right, so we're going to cast off now, and I don't know if anybody wants to watch that. I crochet but have never successfully knitted anything. See, I think crochet is harder than knitting. That's what I think. I think once you learn because knitting is kind of the same thing over and over again a bit, where crochet, there's like so many stitches that you can learn. And I can remember what did I do with my needle, guys? Here it is. When I first started, and I'm like, oh my gosh, it's like another language. Crochet is like another language. And now I can read a crochet pattern and I actually know what it means. But in the beginning, I remember buying like it wasn't the Weebles kit, but it was a kit for one of my daughters to make a little crocheted amigurumi. And we opened it and I looked at the pattern and I'm like, this doesn't make any sense to me. I had no idea. But now I can read those. Now I know. I've learned. But I'm still a beginner. Very much so when it comes to all of that. It is very therapeutic, but sometimes I think I invent new cuss words when I'm crocheting, more so than knitting. So big props go out to all you crocheters, because I think, and knitters too, but hand knitters too. But yeah, yes, that's it. Thank you so much. The PJ Mommy just shared. I can't talk. I almost said something bad. Sheep and Stitch. That's exactly who I watched to learn how to knit. So check them out. Check her out. I posted the lovey and the blanket. Oh, awesome, May. I'm excited to see it. I'm excited. Carl, I'm left-handed and never learned to crochet or knit from my mom. I will tell you, or Cheri. Is it Cheri? I'm sorry, I said Carla because I thought the I was an L. And it's not even, there's no on the end. Oh my gosh, Cheri, I can't read. I will tell you that I just started watching, because of Bag O' Day Crochet, I just started watching Juan the Yarn Addict, and he does tutorials both left-handed, because he's a left-handed crocheter, but he flips the camera too for right-handed. So I haven't watched any of his tutorials yet. I just like watching his yarn hauls. So you should check him out, Juan the Yarn Addict, because he's pretty entertaining. I taught myself. Oh, you taught yourself. Okay, you already know. When I was a young mother. So see, you already know. You don't need to watch Juan. So anybody that needs to know, you can watch Juan. For me, knitting 2 needles versus crochet 1 hook is intimidating. For me, when I tried, I kept dropping the stitches. Yeah, my thing is with knitting, it's hard to, like, if you mess up, it's you like backing up, and I've gotten to where I can kind of fix stuff now, but it's still a little bit intimidating. Where crochet, I think it's easy, you just frog it and kind of go back. But if you're using circular knitting needles, it's a little bit tougher to do that. But still, I think crochet is, I think it's harder. I just finished 2 hats ready for my donation pile while I was watching. Woo woo! Yay, Anna! Go Anna! Everybody congratulate Anna because that's awesome. Because look at, I haven't even finished my second because I chit chatty and I can't do 2 things at once. I want to finish this before we hop off. I know I've been on a long time, and if you guys have been on here with me this whole time, I so appreciate you. It's fun. It's fun. I feel like I'm hanging out with my buddies and we're doing our like little knitting circle thing. So I need to do a poll because I want to know, would any of you get on a Zoom with me, like to like just hang out and us crank and make and chat and stuff? I know some people don't want to be on video, but I would love to do that. Like have a day where we all make together. I don't know. I think that would be so fun. I don't know if that's anything y'all want to do. I can crochet, but have tried multiple times to knit and just can't figure out. I have degenerative disc disease, so the crocheting and knitting caused me. Oh, Lisa, I'm so sorry. That's got to be tough with the pain. But yeah, I guess I see now for me, I kind of started knitting now before I started crocheting because that's what I learned before. Not that I've done a lot, but I've done. So for me, I still feel like crochet is harder. Yeah, YouTube University is your friend when it comes to learning, excuse me. That's how myself and my daughters learn to make amigurumi. Yes, I agree. And amigurumi is a whole nother ball game altogether. My husband got me the Whimsical Stitches book for our anniversary because I wanted it to make the little animals. I love that book. I love it, love it, love it. It's kind of fun to have a book. Are any of the rest of you, do you like books that have patterns in them? Because it's kind of fun. I a lot of times I'm a visual learner, so and auditory. I need to be told, but I need to see it. And a book, it has pictures, but it doesn't always like, show it in detail. All right. That's why I'm so interested in this machine after watching so many of your videos. When I get the machine, it should be a breeze. Yes, absolutely. I agree, Lisa. Yes, it'll be a breeze. You'll know all the things. The thing is, if you've watched, now you know kind of, it is, once you do it, you still have to do it but you'll do great. You'll do great. And if you have any struggles, we're here to help you. We're all here to help you. So, that's one thing that's awesome about the group is everybody is so supportive in there. They really are. I try to get in and I don't really have to answer questions because you all are like in there answering all the questions for people because you're all so awesome and supportive. Okay. All right. Okay. Let me see here. I enjoy watching and learning. Happy that I found your site. Thank you, Patty. I'm happy that you're here. In the UK, we gave Olympic medal diver Tom Blakey who learned to knit. He learned to knit. Oh, really? I think that's cool. I think handcrafts are great I think they should be taught to children in schools. I think it would be a great thing, whether it be embroidery or knitting or crochet. I think it should be like a school requirement, personally, because I know that it would help kids. I'm going to hang this up. I'll be right back. Don't go anywhere, okay? Don't go anywhere. I'll be right back. All right, I had to hang that up and get it out of the way. My chair's all twisted. All right, okay. So let's see. I love crochet, but more addicted to the circle. I kind of am there. Anna, this has been me for the last year. I got to tie all these. Okay, you guys are going to look and see how messy these color changes are, but we have to tie them, and I got to be careful I don't lose that one there. I'm afraid I'm going to have a drop stitch here if I'm not careful because some of those tails were short. But yeah, I'm the same way. I'm addicted to the knitting machine. All right. So see how as I pull these, see how out of whack they're getting? So we're going to go through and I'm going to do it this way. We're going to tie those up. So Megan, you think that would be fun? See, I think it'd be fun too. PJ Mommy said I would. Nikita, yes, I will be the sound of 100 center. Yes, it could be quite loud, JP. I thought about that. It might be a little, we might have to mute out as we're cranking, but I still think it would be fun for us to do that and get together. So I might have to figure out, I have to get like, I have like the regular, you know, it's Zoom for 40 minutes is free, but I think I'm going to, if you guys would be interested, I might get a paid account so we can go on and do that. We'll just have to figure out a time that would work for all of us, I guess. And I know we won't be able to get everybody because we have people all over, but maybe we could do like 2 a month and have one like earlier and later so that we could get everybody included, you know, for anybody who wants to do it. Okay, so what I do is I go through these. Oh, let me get that one. And I'm taking out the slack. So I pull the slack out. Oh, I got to remember my brown one up here too. I pull the slack out and I tie them. And these, you know, they're not perfect, but it does do a pretty good job when you do it this way. Okay, so I just have them like this. And I'm going to start on this side. And I'm going to go in and look and see what they look like. And you can kind of tell that they're lined up by looking at them. You know, if you're like right here. But I'm going to turn it like this, put my finger where my little knot is, and just see how it looks. And that looks pretty good. Looks pretty good. So I think I'm going to go ahead and knot that. And this is, you know, it's a scrap hat. If it's not perfect, it's all right, right? Okay. So let's see. Yeah, I don't have any fellow yarn lover friends. Miss Lady, well, okay, we need to do it then. I will work on that. And then I will announce it and then we'll get together and we'll do it. I think it'd be fun too. Yeah, wouldn't that be fun if we all got together for, you know, a couple hours or however long you could pop in and just say, hey, and even if you didn't feel like making, but you just wanted to hang out, or if you're having a bad day, we can just like talk and hang out. You know what I mean? So you wouldn't have to be making anything, but we could just hang out. I should have looked at that first and I didn't, and I tied it already, but so that's all right. I think it's okay though. The only thing about doing this, I've thought, like when I do a bunch of color changes, is you will have with softer yarn, you will have all your knots in one line. So you're going to feel those a little bit. I mean, you won't feel them when you're wearing it, but if it's really soft, squishy yarn, it's gonna, I'll show you. You can kind of just, I don't know that you can see it, but you can kind of feel it in between. Has anybody done the graphing or the color, like where you do the color changes to make like a design, like Lori from Knitting Sisters over on TikTok? She has some patterns. I don't know who else has patterns for that, but like where you have a design in your hat and they have all the tie-ins. I just don't know how that would be. I still want to try it though, so I might have to get a pattern and try it. All right. That's a lot of noise, PJ Mommy. Yeah, I need a video. Anna says I have loads of books. Yeah, see, isn't it fun to have the books? I think it is too. I think it's fun. Okay, let's see how our orange is there. I think it's pretty good. We'll tie that up. I look on Pinterest for most of my ideas. I want to try out for the most part. And see, you know what's funny is I used to get on Pinterest all the time, and I don't so much do that anymore. And I don't know why that is. It's kind of interesting. I just search in Google and I'll have Pinterest stuff come up. That's kind of long. And I'm going to leave it. I think that's a good enough tail. It's a little bit long, but I think I'll leave it. What can happen though if your tail is too long like this one, and I have these short color changes, I am gonna cut them a little bit more. What can happen is if the orange is down in the gold, or the blue is into the other color, you can see it. Does that make sense? You can sometimes see it, like when the hat stretches. So I'm gonna trim these up just a little bit more, just a hair more, and then try to get them into the color that they go into. There we go. Oh, I got to do this one. I got 2 more. What am I doing, Cheri? All right. So my husband will be home soon and he'll be like, what are you doing? You've been alive forever. All right. That looks good. Okay. And then we'll get to see what it looks like. I know you guys have been waiting this whole time. All right. So let's try to get that to go where it goes. Okay. So let's see. Let's go the other way. Let's see how those look. Let's see how they look. Let's see how they look. And see, they're not perfect, but they don't look too bad. Give them a little stretch. I think that looks all right. What do you guys think? You think those look all right? It's a little wonky, just a little bit. See, it's not perfect, but once I stretch it, it should be good. See, it's not too bad, right? All right. Okay. So we're going to bring this to the inside. The other thing, my little tip with when you do hats like this, where you have a bunch of color changes, like I put my tag on them. If you don't have tags, then you can't like do this, but I usually like where all this color changes right here, where it kind of looks just a little off. I kind of put it to the side, so it's not in the front, it's not in the back, and I put my tag right there so that it's kind of to the side. I don't know that it'll stay there, but all right, let me make sure. Okay, let me cinch this up and we'll see what it looks like here. I wasn't going to finish it, but I want to see what it's going to look like. I think it's going to be cute, guys. Brooke says, my daughter wants to learn so bad. She watched YouTube videos, but still cannot do it. Brooke, is it the machine or is it like crochet or hand knitting? We have embroidery in my, oh, that's awesome. Anna says they have embroidery in her son's school. That's awesome. See, I think that's great for kids. I think that's such a good thing. I think that should be a required thing. I do. Do you ever do jogless join on color changes? You know what? I don't, but I know that that's a thing. I don't though. Kiki says, I'm back. It's now 11 in the evening, time for bed. Nikita, thank you, Nikita, for hanging out. I've went extra long today. I just want to get this cinched up, but thank you for being here. I can't go much later. What time to come online now? I appreciate you. I would buy books, but I can't afford to buy them. Yes, I hear you, because they are kind of expensive, aren't they? I always tie the yarn before I start turning the handle for a different color change. That's what Megan says. Right there. I have to rely on free patterns, the PJ Mommy. Yeah, sometimes they can get kind of costly. The patterns can get I've got too much yarn here, so I'm going to get rid of some of it. All right, guys, let's see here. I think it looks good. I'll show you here. Get it stretched. Oh, I think it looks good. I think it's kind of cute. All right. So what do you guys think? See? There's where the color changes are. See? They're kind of like, once you stretch it, it's good. You can't really tell. All right. So I think it's kind of cute. Let me tuck this. I'll have to probably put a palm. I don't know if I'll put a palm on this one, guys. I think it looks good, though. Looking good. Oh, Brooke says crochet. I understand. Crochet is tough. It's hard. It took me a while. I'll take the laptop to bed with me. I love that. JP says I would wear it. Awesome. I shared a pattern of mine on the. Oh, yeah, Anna. I will have to get in there and look, because I know you mentioned that. Okay, I gotta get my tail out of there, Cheri. All right, let me tie this off, and then we'll do the brim, and we'll see the actual look of the hat so we know what it looks like. And then we'll have made two today, because that's my goal every time I come on live with you guys. But when I'm talking, I have a tendency to like, not crank while I'm talking. It's a problem I have, I know. I'll get better at it as I go. I know I will. I want to make sure I'm not on the other side. All right. Okay. All right, guys. So let's see what this looks like. All right. So, and then here is our brimmy brim. Now, see, you don't see some of those colors down there, but I think it looks good. I think it's kind of cute for a scrap hat. It needs a palm, though. So I think I have, I don't know, it's kind of cute for scrappy scrap leftover yarn. What do you think? I have to fluff some, but some of these are really like hideous. This one would have to be fluffed, but I think it might look cute on there. And oh, and if you get these and they don't like, let me show you the difference. This one I fluffed with the hair dryer. This one is not fluffed. Sometimes they come like this and they look like just like a dead animal. But use a hair dryer. I use a hair dryer and I blow on them, and you can fluff them really well. You can shake them out, but it's not the same. But see, I don't know. I don't know if I'm going to put one on there. But anyways, there we did it. We did a stripy hat. I think it turned out pretty nice. I don't usually do too many of those, but I had all that leftover yarn, so I wanted to do it. So yeah, guys, it's been good. It's been good. It's been fun today, guys. What do you think? What do you think? All right, I think it's been good. All right, let me see here. The brim looks like my pattern I shared. I love it. Oh, I'll have to look and see, Anna. I have to look and see. So we did that one and we did that one. So they're a little wild today. A little more wild than I normally do, right? I don't know if I should put a palm on that. Maybe. I wish I had like a baby blue palm. I think that would look cute. All right, guys. Yeah, good use of the scrap. And that's the thing that's nice is you can do a scrap hat. It's a lot of fun. All right, guys. Well, I'm going to hop off. I want to thank all of you. I will check out the Zoom. I'll figure it out so that we can, it's really dark outside. Look, it's black. Yeah. All right. We'll figure that out and I'll let y'all know. So anyways, and check out the shop too. Get yourself some CranKniting merch if you want, over there on YouTube, or you can just go to hoopandhome.com. But anyways, be back Thursday at 2:30 Eastern Standard Time, and we'll do coffee and chat, and we'll just hang out, and we'll be able to do all this, and I'll be able to pop your questions in. It'll be all good. So you have to come back. All right, guys, you all have a wonderful rest of your evening or morning or whatever it is where you are, and I will see you again later. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great one. Bye now.